Welcome to the Centralia College pregame show. At Centralia College, you can master a trade, earn a degree, or compete at the next level in one of 6 sports, including esports. Trades training, associate degrees, bachelor's degrees, affordable tuition. Visit centralia.edu and blaze your trail at Centralia College.
Good evening and welcome to the 2025 WIAA State Football Championships live from Husky Stadium with special thanks to our title sponsor, GISA Credit Union. You're watching the leader in high school championship live streaming, the NFHS Network. I'm Tony Davila here along with Jeff Weeks, Keith King, Matthew King as well. This is the Centralia College pregame show. Centralia College with a wide range of career choices from early childhood education, healthcare, business, and more, all at an affordable price. For details, go to centralia.edu and blaze your trail at Centralia College. 4A championship is the only one left in the books in the fall sports season, and it is the defending state champions Sumner Spartans that come in with a 10-3 record, taking on the home team on the scoreboard, the Lake Stevens Vikings. They come in with a perfect 13-0 record coming into this one. They met in the first game of the season. Now they're going to try to bookend the season with back-to-back wins against Sumner. Sumner looking to defend their title, though, and walk away with their second trophy in 2 years. All right, we'll come back with more of the pregame show that is coming up next.
Are you making these money mistakes that will
ruin your employees?
Act rich, get rich.
It's new. It's gross. It's Bitcoin. Crypto, baby! Are you wondering, how am I making money? How am I traveling the world and just living my best life? Well, it's pretty easy, okay?
See what I mean? Let's talk about managing your money in real life.
Mom, get out of here!
Thank you.
Find a healthier approach to money at GISA.
Are you interested in continuing your athletic career? If so, Centralia College could be the place for you. Our programs here are designed to inspire and help kids evolve and grow individually, both on and off the field. If all of that sounds great, come join us here at Centralia College.
Nationally known and locally owned, Southwest Washington is home to 6 locally owned Napa stores, providing you with the best quality parts and services you need. With fast access to an inventory of over 400,000 parts, with ASE certified parts specialists ready to help, it's no wonder so many do-it-yourselfers count on Napa Auto Parts. Visit Wilson's Napa Auto Parts in Centralia, Chehalis, Rochester, Tenino, Castle Rock, and the heavy-duty and wholesale location on State Avenue in Chehalis, or go to wilsonnapa.com.
Proactive Physical Therapy in Tumwater, Olympia, and Lacey has made a huge name in training young athletes. But Proactive is much more than that and caters to all individuals coming back from any type of injury. If you have injured yourself and you need to get back in the game or simple day-to-day life activities, call Proactive Physical Therapy today for an appointment and start your way back to feeling good. Proactive Physical Therapy accepts all insurance, car insurance, workers' comp, Medicare, and VA. You owe it to yourself to feel good and productive. So contact Proactive Physical Therapy in Tumwater, Olympia, and Lacey.
And welcome back to Husky Stadium here in Seattle. Tony Davila along with a pair of Kings, Matthew and Keith, and Jeff Weeks here as well. And it is only fitting that the last game of the season, 2 purple and gold teams playing on the purple and gold field here at Husky Stadium.
Not only that, the 2 teams who have accounted for the last 3 4A state championships meeting here. They're the only 2 teams to win the 4A state title here at Husky Stadium in the 3rd year. A couple years ago, it was Lake Stevens just blowing out an SPSL foe in Graham Kapowsin. Last year, it was Sumner winning an instant classic over Camas on a last-second field goal. Now, the 2 champs will meet, go head-to-head against each other, just like they did back in Week 1.
Yeah, Week 1 was a barn burner, ended up being a last-second touchdown by Lake Stevens to get that win, 31-28, to kind of put Sumner on their heels to start out the season, ended their perfect run right away, but made some changes after the loss to Puyallup in their third loss of the year, and have since gone on to roll. The revenge tour of the Sumner Spartans is on. And before we go any further, fans, I got to tell you, I've seen Sumner a few more times. I have yet to see Lake Stevens. I will catch up very, very quickly. But there is I have no dog in this fight. I am from Texas, so I am not really cheering for either one of them. I'm just hoping for a really good game.
Well, the good game that we really should. And the thing to think about is both teams are so much different now than they were back in week one, just the growth. I mean, if you talk about Sumner, Lance McGee, the transfer student from Davis out of Yakima, coming over, playing early. It takes him a little bit to get into the rhythm of playing with his new teammates in games instead of being in practice, and put on a great performance last week in the semifinal.
Yeah, 300 yards rushing, 5 touchdowns in that game, and he has just been building more and more as a running back. At first, when he signed for college, he was going to be a linebacker. Everybody thought he was going to play linebacker for the Spartans. He has not. He is a running back only, and he is a very good running back. And this is one of those games that it is a matchup of styles. Sumner seems to be a more run-heavy, get the ball out, get it to your big guy, and let him do his thing. 2,098 yards on the season for Lance McGee. Only 1,700 yards passing for the quarterback in Nate Donovan for the Spartans, whereas Lake Stevens, their quarterback, has 2,300, almost 2,400 yards in Blake Mosier. He's also got 37 touchdowns through the air. So they're going to throw the ball a little bit more against Sumner. Sumner's going to want to take the air out of the ball, run it a little bit more, be a little bit more clock heavy, and try to run this game down to be closer.
Yeah, both teams can score a point. Mosier, he's dual threat quarterback, right? At the same time, he's got nearly 800 yards of rushing to go with his 37 touchdowns on the air, right? So he's got 12 more carrying the football himself. So you got a lot of options there where Sumner's defense, that 4-2-5 that they play, got to keep somebody to spy on him.
Well, and also you talked about the growth, the changes. Blake Moser, this is his first year as a starter. Colton Matson was the starting quarterback for 3 years where there was no question that he was going to be the starter. So Moser just learning to play at varsity level consistently throughout the entire year. He has grown a ton as well, and he's playing his best football of his short high school career right now.
Yeah, we talked about how both of these teams have changed. They definitely have. That's one that Mosier, as the season's gone on, has gotten more comfortable in his role of being the leader. You go from being a guy that's a backup that knows you're a backup to being the leader and needing everybody to follow your lead. Now they're at the biggest stage possible, and this is where you step up and get everybody to follow behind you. Just get on my back. I will carry you to the promised land is what he's telling them, trying to get his team to another title here in a very short amount of time. 3 titles in 4 years is a great sign for the Vikings.
Yeah, and it'd be a great catch. Remember, this is a team that couldn't seem to get over that hump until they did get by Kennedy Catholic in the last year of state championships at high school venues back in 2022. So now they have that belief. They know that they can win the big one. However, can they take down the reigning champs? That question will be decided tonight.
That it will for sure. And coming in there is also, we talked about the offense. There are the defensive matchups as well because some of these guys are great defenders, one of them being Sean Griffith. 7 sacks on the year for Sean Griffith in this one. Keegan Brown on the other end for Lake Stevens. He's got 9 sacks on the year. I believe he's got 80-something tackles as well. So both of those ends are going to try to create as much chaos on the defensive end as possible for both of these teams.
Yeah, and Lake Stevens, what they're known for across the state is speed. No team is faster than them. I was talking to Tyler Hergert, who called their semifinal last week, and he could not say enough about the speed of the Vikings. You're not going to see anything like it, so it might kind of shock Sumner a little bit, but Sumner's also got the offense. They got Lance McGee to kind of slow the game down, land those body blows, and try and gas out that defense, tire them out, take away that speed as fast as possible.
Well, and the key really for Sumner is, Lake Stevens can be so explosive offensively. It's trying to keep that offense off the field, grind the clock out, have long drives, sustaining drives, and time of possession is key into the Sumner offensive game plan coming into this.
All right, so captains are meeting in the middle of the field right now. The captains for the Sumner Spartans are number 5, Austin Gleavar, number 7, Nate Donovan, number 27, Elias Isaacs, and number 90, Sean Griffith. For the Vikings of Lake Stevens, their captains are number 7, Caden Peck, number 14, Dylan Finney, number 51, Kenny Buckmiller, and number 52, Braden Slezak. The head coach for Lake Stevens is Tom Try. The head coach for the Sumner Spartans is Keith Ross.
And I do just want to point out, because both teams have the same color schemes, Sumner is in the white with the purple numbers, Lake Stevens in the purple with the white numbers, just so you guys don't get confused at home, and hopefully we don't get confused up here.
And Sumner has won the toss and deferred. They will be kicking from right to left.
All right. So that will do it. We will step away for the national anthem. When we come back, it'll be kickoff time between Sumner and Lake Stevens for the 4A title.
For 50 seasons, when it comes to passion and noise and dedication, it's always the 12s.
The 2025 Professor GW's Football Picks Grand Prize is a ticket bonanza. With 2 tickets to the Seahawks, Kraken, Mariners, Sounders, Storm, Rainiers, and Emerald Downs. Rules and restrictions apply. Go to EliSportsNetwork.com for the full list of rules and entry form. Good luck.
Alderson's Awards West Printwares is your one-stop shop to tell the world about your school, club, or business. For jackets, shirts, hats, and more, depend on Awards West. Alderson's provides fast service and quality products, including screen printing and embroidery performed on site. Awards West has been meeting your recognition, identification, and promotional needs for over 50 years. For a full catalog, go to aldersons.net. Aldersons, 1124 Kresge Avenue in Centralia.
The opioid crisis is real, and many families are dealing with this insidious problem. It can attack anyone, from illegal street drugs to legal prescriptions. American Behavioral Health Systems is here to help, and has responded to this issue with our Secure Withdrawal Management Center. It's specialized medication-assisted opioid treatment and detox for low-income and Medicaid-eligible clients. The time is now to free yourself from addiction. For more information, go to AmericanBehavioralHealth.net.
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
Let's talk about tomorrow for a minute. So where do you want to be years from now? Do you see yourself enjoying retirement? Well, if you hope to get there, you'll have to plan for it. Josh Wilson, a financial advisor at Morgan Stanley, can help. Josh will work with you to create a wealth plan that's based on how you want to live now and once you retire. And the great thing is, he's right here in Washington. For an appointment, call Josh at 360-704-2220. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. When your team is on the road, remember the Sumner Holiday Inn Express is your team headquarters. Just minutes from the Tacoma Dome, Sparks Stadium, King County Aquatic Center, and other area locations. The Sumner Holiday Inn Express has special team rates with big, comfortable rooms. There's a free breakfast buffet and free parking that includes room for your bus. Enjoy the pool, hot tub, and weight room. They have rooms for big team meetings, pre-planned team meals, and more. Winning it all begins with your on-the-road headquarters at the Sumner Holiday Inn Express.
The real estate market is changing, and John L. Scott can answer your questions with a free market analysis. If you're a homeowner, it's really important to get a current market analysis. It only takes a few minutes of your time and contains valuable information about your biggest investment. This might be the year to make a move and take advantage of this market. For your free market analysis, see Laura Lee today at John L. Scott, 900 West Main in Centralia.
Welcome back to the NFHS Network. Today's game at Husky Stadium is presented by the Seattle Seahawks, supporting WIAA football and the launch of girls flag football with the inaugural state championships coming in February. Tony Davila here, along with Keith King, Matthew King, and Jeff Weeks. And starting off with the opening possession is going to be Lake Stevens. So we'll run down their offense. Their O-line is Kenny Buckmiller, Ryder Tolentino, Caleb Connolly, Will Lynch, Ted Kura, and the tight end is Grayson Eggers. The receivers are Max Cook, Kikoa Okiyama, and Seth Price. Quarterback is Blake Mosier, and the running back is Jay Farrell. You'll also see Akio Yonisaka, Colton Fink at running back. You'll see Deuce Wilson, Carter Bringdahl, and Dylan Finney at wide receiver, and Keegan Brown will see some time at tight end as well for the Lake Stevens Vikings. On to kick this ball away for Sumner. That is going to be Bergen Erickson kicking deep. They'll go to about the 10 and over the head of the return man into the end zone. So Lake Stevens will start at their own 20.
Tony, we got to mention, if you've been watching the state championship games this weekend, wind has been a big factor. It's kind of died down quite a bit. It's still out there, but it is not as significant as it has been. So that's going to benefit these two teams. They want to air it out deep.
Yeah, that may be the first kick we've seen all weekend go through that end zone.
So we went over the offense. Let's go over the defense. Will Maxwell, Sean Griffith, Elijah Thomas, and Gray Longoria is the D-line of Sumner. Elias Tulefua, Mike Pataya, and Austin Glevar are the linebackers. Handoff. No, it's going to be a quick pass out to the outside and dropped. Seth Price in his hands and hits the ground. Good pass from Mosier, just off the hands.
Those early game jitters.
It is a very big game here. The DBs, deep backs, Isaiah Ferguson, Dylan Titiali'i, Elias Isaacs, and Israel Neighbors for Sumner. Pitch out wide, goes to Farrell. Hits the edge, and he'll be short of the first down by about a yard. Good run, though, by Jay Farrell.
Yeah, third and manageable.
Yeah, he stepped out of bounds. I'm going to mark him out at the 27. Isaiah Ferguson coming up and force him out. These DBs for Sumner, Tony, you and I have both seen them quite a bit. They like to hit. They're going to be very physical, involved in the running game especially.
They are speedy, and they'll have to be, because everything you hear about Lake Stevens is how fast they are. Quick pass out to the outside. This time Price makes the catch, trying to cut his way through, and he will fight for the first down and get it by a yard. Needed 3, got 4.
Really nice job on the bubble screen out on the perimeter, and nice blocking by the two receivers allowing them to pick up that first down, just like a run play. Get it out on the perimeter, put it to a skill guy, let him run.
A good job by Price to flush that first drop, make the catch, keep the chains moving.
Mosier has a man behind him in Farrell. Fakes the handoff. Now throws one deep and has a man wide open, caught. Okiyama makes the catch before he is brought down by Elias Isaacs.
Okiyama tried to stop there and let those defenders fly by him, and they did a good job of pulling him with them.
Really nice job by Mosier on the rollout. That the run action, you're so used to having to guard him as a dual threat. That safety pulled up like he was going as they start to show the replay here. That safety pops up, and the receiver gets right inside of that and able to make a nice big play.
That shoulder shake got everybody to bite on it. Now Mosier all alone in the backfield. quad receivers to his left. And he'll throw it quickly, get it out wide. On the run, breaks a tackle and gets into the 5-yard line. Gets down about the 3. Good catch and run that time on the outside. I believe that was Farrell again.
Yeah, it was Farrell. Get that running back the ball out wide as quickly as possible. Let him use that speed to go ahead and make a play. 19 yards on that one.
Jay Farrell showing off the speed there. And he will be in the backfield behind Mosier this time. Puts a man in motion. And he's going to keep it himself. Has room and in for the touchdown. 3-yard touchdown run by Blake Mosier.
Those fakes are just so effective. They take half the defense away on every play.
Mosier doing a great job. He hadn't kept one yet. Everything had been him rolling out of the pocket and still throwing the ball. This time he just calls his own number, and he's in for an easy 6 untouched.
Untouched, just puts the hand out there, breaks the line. And just like that, it is 6-0 Vikings. Lucas Mooring on to kick the PAT. Nettles holding. Snap is good. Kick is up. Kick is good. And it is 7-0. Lake Stevens on top of Sumner. We will step away and be back after this with more of the 4A state championship game.
The 2025 Professor GW's Football Picks Grand Prize is a ticket bonanza. With 2 tickets to the Seahawks, Bracket, Mariners, Sounders, Storm, Rainiers, and Emerald Downs. Rules and restrictions apply. Go to EliSportsNetwork.com for the full list of rules and entry form. Good luck.
And welcome back. Giesa Credit Union is proud to sponsor the 2025 WIAA State Football Championships. Welcome back to the action on the NFHS Network as we see the highlight, that quick pass over the top that ended in a 3-yard touchdown run by Blake Mosier. Lake Stevens takes the 7-0 lead, and now Lucas Mooring on to boot this ball away and give Sumner their first possession of the game. Wyatt Plyler and Braylon Pope back to receive for Sumner.
2 explosive playmakers that can make big plays on special teams as well as on offense.
Mooring sends it into the end zone. So just like that, both teams start off at their own 20.
Lake Stevens goes 80 yards on 6 plays, taking a minute and 50 seconds, capped off by the Blake Mosier 3-yard touchdown run on the first scoring drive.
Micah Keene, Xander Pearson, Edgar Schink, Cameron Rabbitoe, and Elijah Thomas is the O-line. Gray Longoria is the tight end for Sumner. Nate Donovan, the quarterback, he is under center. And behind him is Lance McGee. You're going to hear that name a lot. Donovan. Handoff to McGee, trying to break a tackle, but he is brought down. Runs right into the wall. That is Ty Tuatolo.
Tuatolo just powered his way into that one. Had a blocker on him and came anyway.
So Lance McGee is the running back. You'll also see Israel Neighbors and Micah Pataya at running back as well. Ashton Pollard, Braylon Pope, and Jaden Martiminoff are the receivers. You'll also see A.J. Barnby get some time at receiver as well. Donovan puts a man in motion. Handoff McGee, trying to pick and prod. McGee cuts back, stays on his feet, and rumbles forward for some extra yardage. Gets that loss back, and now he is just 3 yards short of the first down.
A lot of east-west movement there, but he made it pay.
Really nice vision here on his cutback. Gets outside and uses his blocker to get positive yardage to set up third and manageable.
Ty Tautolo, Will Lynch Ted Kura and Keegan Brown is the D-line. Handoff goes to McGee, trying to get around the edge. McGee breaks a tackle and gets taken down. Looks like right at the line for the first down. Got to the mark. I think he's got it. Needed to get to the 30. The ball is right on the 30. Has enough for the first down. Kenny Buckmiller, Caden Blanchard, and Akio Yonisaka are the middle linebackers. Brian Tillman, Felix Ramsey, Carter Bringdahl, and Seth Price are the DBs. Donovan under center. Handoff McGee. No cut that time, just rumbles forward for 6 yards.
Really nice job there. Sumner finding the bubble off on the right side. Right off tackle.
Sometimes you don't need the cut. When you can get all your momentum going north and south, stick to it.
McGee is a big back, 6 foot, 222. And he has that Ashton Genty stance in the backfield. Donovan, handoff, McGee. Cuts and gone down the sideline. McGee has one man to beat and taken down. Coming up to make the tackle, that was Dylan Finney. Saved that touchdown.
Really nice vision by Lance. Gets through, uses the blocker, and then bursts to the outside. Nice play by the linebacker there to come across, make a shoestring tackle to stop the touchdown.
Great block by Cameron Rabbitoe, kicking out that D end and opening up that hole to allow McGee to get to the second level.
Spartans have been all on the ground with McGee, and they'll hand it to him again. Cuts inside. No, that's Israel Neighbors, and Neighbors gets taken down, but he has the first down and more. Big gain there by Israel Neighbors. Did not get in last week.
20 yards. Neighbors, I always look at as more of the home run back. You're going to see McGee really eat away at the yardage. He can hit the home run for sure, but Neighbors, when he's in, it's either going to be a big gain or he's going to be brought down the backfield. It's all or nothing with him out there.
He is the lightning of that thunder and lightning combo. It stays Neighbors in the backfield. They'll hand it to Israel. And he gets wrapped up. Nice job there wrapping him up by Buckmiller to bring him down for a short gain.
Yeah, you can't afford to let him get around the edge on you. He kicks it into another gear.
A lot of success for Sumner here on this drive, coming off tackle on both sides.
6:30 to go in the first quarter. Lake Stevens scored on their opening drive.
McGee back in now.
Pope thought he had the play, was looking to get out to his receiver spot and had to come back to the huddle. Donovan under center. Puts a man in motion. That's Moody. And rolls out. Now he's going to keep it himself. Slides. He'll be short of the first down, but makes this a 3rd and 2 coming up for Sumner.
Good decision there to slide. Save yourself. Don't take that hit if you don't need to.
Donovan isn't known to be a scrambler, but he can move when he needs to.
I was just going to say that. You're going to see him be a passer even when he's on the move. You rarely see him tuck it and run, but a good decision there to do so.
He'll go back under center. Moody in motion. Handoff McGee. And McGee going to fall forward and get right to the line to gain another first down for the Spartans.
What a great response from Sumner after giving up what was a pretty quick drive for Lake Stevens to go right down the field and score, to come back on offense, your first series of the game, and just grind it out, try and gas out the speed of Lake Stevens defense immediately. It's a great response from the Spartans.
Sumner can get a first down at the 1 yard line. They're not worried about that. They're trying to get into the end zone. Shotgun here for Donovan. He'll hand off to McGee. McGee right up the middle, and he is in. Touchdown, 11 yards for Lance McGee.
Found that seam, and nobody touched him.
And wow, what a cut. One cut, made a man miss, and in for the Spartans. And that's the kind of answer that you were looking for from Sumner in this one. And coming on to kick is Juan Jacobo Guzman. Snap is there. Guzman puts it up and in, and we are all even at sevens between Lake Stevens and Sumner in the 4A championship game. We'll step away and be back after this.
The real estate market is changing, and John L. Scott can answer your questions with a free market analysis. If you're a homeowner, it's really important to get a current market analysis. It only takes a few minutes of your time and contains valuable information about your biggest investment. This might be the year to make a move and take advantage of this market. For your free market analysis, see Laura Lee today at John L. Scott, 900 West Main in Centralia.
And welcome back here to Husky Stadium. Tony Davila here along with Keith King, Matthew King, and Jeff Weeks as Sumner answers on their first drive. Lake Stevens went down and scored. Sumner did the same on their first drive. And now back deep to receive is going to be Deuce Wilson along with Grayson Eggers. Kicking off is Bergen Erickson. That'll be taken, trying to find a gap, and will get out to about the 29-yard line, and that is where Lake Stevens will take over at their own 29.
Did a great job there, kind of slowing down and letting his blockers get in front of him.
Scoring summary for Sumner, they go 10 plays, they go 80 yards, take 5 minutes and 17 seconds, capped off by the McGee 11-yard touchdown run. Extra point good. We're tied at 7.
Eggers the one to bring that out. We'll see him at tight end as well. Here comes Blake Mosier and company. Trips wide to his left. Lone receiver out to his right. Puts a man in motion. That's Okiyama. He caught a big pass earlier, but it's a handoff to Farrell. Short gain, but keeps his legs moving and falls forward for about 4 yards.
Yeah, contact made early there, and he just kept pushing.
And Farrell, not small himself, 5'9", 180 for the junior.
Really good job up front there, Lake Stevens.
Twin receivers either side for Mosier. Puts a man in motion, and he's going to keep it himself. Gets around the edge and will be forced out of bounds.
Couldn't quite find the edge there. They just kept drifting out there, keeping him contained.
Well, Keith, you got to give a lot of credit. These DNs of Sumner, they are so good at not allowing anything to get outside of them. Will Maxwell and Gray Longoria, elite pass rushers, but they do a great job keeping everything between the tackles in the run game.
Yeah, they definitely did on that play.
3rd and 2 coming up for Lake Stevens. Mosier all alone in the backfield. Puts Farrell in motion. Drops back, throw over the middle, and knocked away, and Isier Frazier gets called for the foul. Had a hand on the hip of Max Cook.
DB coaches aren't going to like that one.
Let's watch the replay. I thought he had a grasp of the shoulder.
You find me a defensive pass interference that DB coaches do agree with.
The one where you're burned and you tackle him to give up so you don't give up 6.
We'll get the play call, and then I know our crew will give us a replay, or the penalty call.
See what the white hat has to say. And it is defensive pass interference as we see the replay. Up over the top. Has that back arm trying to go up.
He's definitely hooking and turning him there.
I think he pulled that shoulder back a little bit. I think that's the right call.
So fresh set of downs now for Lake Stevens. Twin receivers either side for Mosier. Put Farrell in motion, rolls out, rolls and finds his man. That's Seth Price again. Price active early, dropped the first pass, but nothing else has hit the ground for him.
Really nice job, move the pocket, nice hitch route. Gain of 6, make it 2nd and 4.
Good pickup there for the Vikings. 3:20 to go in this first quarter, all knotted up at 7. Okiyama moves to the slot. Farrell lines up next to Mosier. Now Okiyama goes in motion. Handoff and breaks a tackle. Breaks another one and has the first down. That is Jay Farrell.
Hard-fought 8-yard pickup there for Farrell. This offense of Lake Stevens, they are humming right along, really not slowing down even a single bit. They had that couple of third downs, converted them both, one via a penalty. You got to like what you see if you're a Viking fan out there here in this first quarter.
Yeah, usually Will Maxwell is very sure-handed, not able to bring down Farrell. Tried to bring him down with an arm tackle, and Farrell fought right through it. Farrell now will line up behind Mosier. Blake rolling out, throws, and caught along the sideline. Great catch by Seth Price, right at the 20-yard line.
Really good play design into the boundary for the Vikings. Nice little flood route. Nice ball by Mosier.
Mosier now starting to get into a good rhythm here.
Seth Price as well getting into a good rhythm. Strong hands catch there. Didn't need his body to help him out at all.
Mosier fakes the handoff. No, he does hand it off and met right away. Sniffed that one out immediately was Dylan Titiali'i.
And we talked about the secondary. They like to get up involved in the run game. Exhibit A right there. Titiali'i flying up, making a play from his safety position.
You can be happy right there. You made it back to the line of scrimmage.
Titiali'i is back to where he likes to play. He was a linebacker last year, but he's got enough speed that he can play some DB as well. Mosier rolls out, gets hit by Griffith into the end zone, and is it caught? It is caught. Touchdown brought in on the outside. Max Cook cooking on that one. Great job bringing that one in.
Yeah, he kind of had to power that one down. Defender right on him.
Great catch there. That was not easy for Cook. Good coverage, just a great ball. Isaiah Ferguson was in a good spot. He never turned to locate the ball. Otherwise, he might have been able to make a play on it. Great catch by Max Cook.
So second drive and another touchdown for Lake Stevens. Lucas Mooring on to kick the PAT. Snap, kick, and it is good. 14-7. Lake Stevens leads Sumner. We'll keep it here. There's 1:10 to go in the first quarter, and we'll see how Sumner responds here. Both teams back and forth they've gone. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns early on for Lake Stevens.
Really nice drive here by Lake Stevens. They take 3:24 to go, 71 yards on 8 plays, capped off by the Mosier 20-yard touchdown pass to Cook. Extra point good. We're up 14-7, and Sumner's chance to answer.
Right now we look poised for a shootout, gentlemen, with how this one's going, although it might not be that typical 50, both teams in the 50s because Sumner's taking so much time off for their touchdown drive. We'll see if they can do it again. This might just come down to who has the ball last or who has the guts to go for 2 at some point.
We already saw one team go for 2. That was the 1A title game where Royal wins their 6th in a row. But they were playing, who did they end up playing? That was Kashmir. Kashmir went for 2 at the end, scored with 18 seconds to go, went for 2, came up short, but I gotta like it.
I agree with the call, by the way, in that game to go for 2. You got to take your swing at the Kings when you can.
Mooring to kick this one away. Pope and Plyler back deep to receive. And again, into the end zone it goes. Mooring has a leg, and that is key. When you've got a kicker in high school that can kick it into the end zone every time, why not? Make every team start at their own 20.
Both of these kickers show me that they will not go for 2 unless it becomes critical that they go for 2.
Well, we thought last year there'd be no way Sumner would go for a fake punt. That's where we ended up, although they didn't want to go for a fake punt.
So Nate Donovan and company now. Donovan under center. Handoff, Lance McGee. McGee breaks the tackle, hits the edge. McGee tight ropes down the sideline, cuts inside, makes a man miss. Lance McGee still on the run and finally taken down. Coming up with the big hit was Dylan Finney.
What a job dancing down the sideline there. It took him all the concentration he could put together to stay in bounds.
Really great feat as you watch him bounce off tackle, keeps his balance, cuts back inside.
And he stayed in bounds the entire time.
He sure did.
35-yard run there for Lance McGee. Pope going to switch out. Him and Pollard switch sides of the field. Pope, the lone receiver, out to the right of Donovan. Puts Moody in motion. Donovan looking for the pass, and now he'll tuck it and run towards the sideline. Steps out of bounds about 3 yards short of the first down mark. Give him 6 on that carry, so 4 yards short of the first down marker.
That felt like a very awkward play. A lot of looking at each other to figure out where we're at, but yet they make the gain look easy.
Well, they didn't like what they saw downfield. Credit Lance McGee laying down a big block to allow Donovan to slide out to his left. Otherwise, he would have been getting chased down from behind by one of these speedy linebackers for Lake Stevens.
Broken play turned into a positive by Donovan.
23 seconds to play in this first quarter. Donovan under center. Puts Moody in motion. Handoff McGee. McGee trying to break a tackle, throws a stiff arm, but is taken down a yard short of the first down marker. Got met right away by Buckmiller. Put the hand in his face and tried to fall forward. And that will end the first quarter. At the end of the first quarter, it is Lake Stevens 14, Sumner 7. We will step away and be back after this on the Eli Sports and NFHS networks.
The weather is changing, and it's time to make sure your vehicle is ready for heavy rain, cold morning starts, plus ice and snow. Schedule an appointment now at Point S Centralia OK Tire to have a multi-point inspection. The pros at Point S will check your shocks, brakes, including fluid, battery, and of course your tires. Point S Centralia OK Tire has the best brand name tires like Cooper, Goodyear, and Nokian in stock and ready to put on. Your new tires also come with a warranty good at over 200 locations. Point S Centralia OK Tire, 1741 Harrison Avenue in Centralia.
The first quarter is in the books, and special thanks to Washington Dairy and their support of the WIAA. After one, it is Lake Stevens 14, Sumner 7. The second quarter is about ready to get underway. Sumner has the ball. This is their second drive. They're trying to answer the touchdown that Lake Stevens scored to go ahead.
It's been really impressive offense. You can see the highlights. Blake Mosier, that initial touchdown run. Then Lance McGee, a couple of big runs already in this ball game, including the touchdown run that got Sumner on the board as well. But you are really seeing some high-level stuff. Neighbors, an explosive run as well to set up that touchdown run right there by Lance McGee. But Lake Stevens came right back down the field for the Vikings. Once again, Mosier using that right arm. Couple of great catches as well.
Second quarter starts with a 3rd and 1 for Sumner. Handoff goes to McGee. McGee has the first down And he'll get run out of bounds at about the 31-yard line. But plenty for the first down for the Spartans.
Nice shot, gain of 5 into the boundary. Had numbers into the boundary here, so good call by the Spartans.
Looks like Israel Neighbors checks back in at running back. It'll be Neighbors behind Donovan. Single receiver either side. Handoff goes to Israel Neighbors, trying to cut back inside. Neighbors makes a man miss, stays on his feet. Neighbors still on his feet, has enough for the first down. A gain of 13 for Israel Neighbors.
Wow, with all of the contact there, he just kept the shake and bake on and got a good gain there.
Well, in the speed of the Vikings, they actually over-pursued, gave him the cutback lane, and he found it.
And he is their speed option at running back. Not saying McGee is slow, but Neighbors is fast.
Well, not saying Neighbors can't run through you like McGee can. He shedded the tackle very nicely there.
Donovan under center. Another handoff to Neighbors. Neighbors falls forward just short of the first down marker. See where they end up placing this ball. One is saying it's at the 10, one saying it's at the 9, and it'll be at the 9-yard line. So he's a yard short of the first down. Donovan looks to the sideline and gets the play. McGee back in. He'll line up right next to Nate Donovan. Pass and trying to find Pope on a quick slant. Just throws it into his feet.
Donovan wishes he had that pass back.
I believe that was Felix Ramsey doing a great job of jamming Pope at the line of scrimmage, kind of just throwing off that timing enough to force the incomplete pass.
So another 3rd and 1 coming for Sumner. This time Donovan goes under center. Tried to get the hard count. Nobody bit for Lake Stevens. Handoff, McGee has the first down and more and into the end zone. Lance McGee hesitates a little bit, just waited for everybody to get in front of him and into the end zone. Second touchdown run for Lance McGee.
Yeah, need just one to move the chains. He says, I'll just take all 9 and put us an extra point away from tying the game up. Great response by Sumner once again. But we are in for quite the ball game.
Yeah, it's really shaping up here on who can get a stop.
Jacobo Guzman. Kick is up, and it is good, and we are all even at 14-14 Sumner. And Lake Stevens will step away and be back after this.
The opioid crisis is real, and many families are dealing with this insidious problem. It can attack anyone, from illegal street drugs to legal prescriptions. American Behavioral Health Systems is here to help, and has responded to this issue with our Secure Withdrawal Management Center. It's specialized medication-assisted opioid treatment and detox for low-income and Medicaid-eligible clients. The time is now to free yourself from addiction. For more information, go to AmericanBehavioralHealth.net.
Welcome back to the NFHS Network. Today's game at Husky Stadium is presented by the Seattle Seahawks, supporting WIAA football and the launch of girls flag football with the inaugural state championship coming in February. Tony Davila here along with Jeff Weeks, Keith King, and Matthew King as Sumner answers with a touchdown of their own, and we are back to knot it up at 14. On to kick this away is Bergen Erickson. Bergen was a little short on that one. It's caught at the 15 and bringing it up the field for Lake Stevens. That is going to be Grayson Eggers. Gets to the 25-yard line, and that is where the Vikings will take over.
So both these teams are starting to get quite comfortable with what one another wants to do on offense. Now is, I think, the time we're going to see the defensive wrinkles. Maybe Sumner brings an extra rusher to try and blitz Blake Mosier, make him a little bit uncomfortable. It's going to be very interesting to see what both defensive coordinators come up with on these next couple of drives.
Sumner drive, 8 plays, goes 80 yards, takes 3 minutes and 8 seconds, capped off by the 9-yard run by McGee to get us tied at 14.
Mosier has trips to his left, lone receiver to his right, and behind him is Jay Farrell. Man in motion. It'll be a handoff to Farrell. No, it'll be a keeper by Mosier trying to get around the edge. Finally brought down, coming up with the tackle was Elias Tulifua.
I can't even fault you there, Tony, because I bit on the fake, too. That was beautifully executed, and Mosier, meanwhile, was one-on-one on the outside.
Defender almost took him out right there, but realized at the last second he didn't have the ball.
Lake Stevens with a 2nd and 2 coming. Eggers to the outside. Handoff and brought down. What a tackle on the outside. I think that was Titi Ali'i that held on and stopped that first down.
Really good pursuit by Titi Ali'i, because if he doesn't make that tackle, he's going to go quite a ways.
Yeah, Farrell had that edge. If Dylan wasn't there, he might still be running. He'd probably be done by now. He's pretty fast.
He might run all over this field. He has that much space.
Everybody looks to the sideline for the Vikings to get the play. Trips to the left, lone receiver to the right. Mosier. Handoff. Farrell looking for an opening, and he is taken down short of the first down.
Maxwell once again, Tony, setting that edge, making Farrell cut this one up, and then Maxwell just making a tackle. That was actually number 45, Owen Tobin. Maxwell was on the other side. Gray Longoria was getting a break. So even the backup's coming in. Tobin setting the edge.
And it looks like Lake Stevens is going for it. Mosier is also listed as a punter, so he has that option to quick step into that kick. Nobody back deep, though. 4th and short. Mosier rolling out, throws to the outside and drops. Had his man hit him in the hands. That was Kekoa Okiyama. He was too open.
That's twice Mosier. 2 incomplete passes so far in this game. Neither of them have been his fault. He delivers this one perfectly. And again, just you can see his head start to turn just a little bit before he secures that possession.
And Sumner gets the first stop of the day.
Yeah, the first break. Now can they capitalize with the short field?
They take over at the 34 of Lake Stevens. See what Nate Donovan and company have here. In the shotgun. He'll hand off to McGee. McGee. And that time, a great job by Lake Stevens. Hit Lance McGee low. You're not going to hit him high and bring him down. You got to wrap his legs up.
Caden Peck was credited with that tackle. You mentioned it, Tony. You're not going to be able to arm tackle Lance McGee. You're not going to be able to tackle him at the shoulders. He will just run you over. This is a D1 football player.
Headed to Oregon State next season as an athlete. Donovan. Handoff goes to McGee, and he's got space. Got a great block on the outside, and Lance McGee walks into the end zone. 32-yard touchdown run, and Braylon Pope sprung him on the outside.
Really nice job up front. Good block by Pope. And McGee takes care of the rest.
Set the edge. That one block by Pope gives him access. And just like that, Sumner takes their first lead of the game. PAT coming for Juan Jacobo Guzman. Jacobo Guzman up and in, and it is 21-14 Sumner with the lead with 7:02 to play in the first half. What a game we've got going on so far.
Yeah, no, this is exactly what we kind of teased in the first quarter. We're due for a shootout. The only stop that we've seen was just a drop both offenses, they look extremely strong. Buckle up, gentlemen. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, it's who can do the better job of not beating themselves.
And there were several opportunities for Lake Stevens to pick up that first down on that last drive, but shut down on second, third, and fourth and short. End up turning the ball over, and Sumner takes advantage. Bergen Erickson on to kick this ball away.
Now it's just important that they answer, right? Answer here. You get the ball at halftime when we come back out of the break.
Eggers and Wilson back deep. They'll kick it to Eggers. Eggers waits for blockers. No, that's not Eggers. That was Max Cook. And took a little bit too long. Gets out to the 20-yard line. And that is where Lake Stevens will take over.
Waited for his blockers there and then tried to cut to the right side. And these Sumner Spartans just all over.
So here comes Lake Stevens trying to answer themselves. Blake Mosier in the pistol. Trips to his left. Toss out wide. Strung out, and great job running him down. Gray Longoria, it looked like he got held up, and Longoria able to fight through it and pick up the tackle.
Talking about you can't tackle Lance McGee high. You can't tackle Jay Farrell high. He just spun off of, again, a couple of really good tacklers on the Sumner defense, and they just can't bring him down one-on-one. You have to wrap up down low, or he is just going to run through you.
Able to bring him down was Micah Pataya. Mosier fakes the toss this time, throws over the middle, caught as the first down and more. Good catch that time by Max Cook.
Really good play fake by Mosier.
Yeah, we're seeing some great fakes out here both ways tonight. I've bet more than once myself.
Just his way that he carries out that mesh point, just really rides that before he takes off. Makes it tough.
That's one of those that dual threat. You got to be wary of his legs because he will run on you if you give him some space. Mosier puts a man in motion. Handoff. Goes to Farrell, and he runs into a wall, tries to fight forward. He will gain some extra yardage. But he's brought down about 4 yards short of the first down.
He ran into a wall, but he kind of just moved the wall. You see players losing cleats and chin straps down there. This is a hard-hitting game.
I wondered what that was laying on the ground. Chin strap makes sense.
Yeah, in fact, you saw the official there having to make sure we're okay, looking to see if we needed a concussion protocol or not.
Trips to the right of Mosier. Farrell gonna fake it down the sideline and too close to the sideline. Overshoots Max Cook.
It didn't really matter where he put that ball. Great job by Isaiah Ferguson pinning that receiver to the sideline. He was going to have no space to make a play at all. That was just great defense.
Yeah, step for step with him all the way down there, just right in his pocket.
That brings up 3rd and 4 for Lake Stevens.
And this is the spot where Lake Stevens can be so dangerous. 3rd and short, you can run it, you can throw it. Mosier can get out on the move. There are so many options for this Viking offense.
Mosier has Farrell behind him. Pitch out to Farrell, and he is wrapped up and thrown down for a loss.
Good pursuit by the Spartan defense.
Sean Griffith brings him down for a 1-yard loss, and that'll bring up 4th down. It looks like they are still out there. Offense is going to go for it.
Rolling the dice again.
at the 43. Mosier puts Farrell in motion. Rolls out. Mosier hangs up in pursuit. Still on his feet. Now he's going to get taken down for a big loss. You got to get rid of the ball at some point. You can't keep on tapping your toes. And he ends up going down and giving Sumner great field position.
Gray Longoria is so quick, and he does not stop until the quarterback is on the ground. Look at him. He gets knocked off his path, just continues to run right after Mosier, and eventually is going to catch up to him.
Well, and a little slip on that last cut didn't help him either. He was moving pretty well, and then his feet just didn't want to bite.
Sumner takes over at the 30 of Lake Stevens. Nate Donovan under center has Lance McGee behind him. Handoff to McGee. Cuts McGee to the outside, and he is in for the touchdown. Third touchdown on the ground, 30 yards for Lance McGee. That is his fourth touchdown. I stand corrected. Wow. Have a first half. What a game for Lance McGee.
4 touchdowns. His last 2 carries have both been touchdowns. He is out of his 3 of his last 4 carries have been touchdowns. I mean, you just want to go on and on. Yeah. Unbelievable first half of football.
30 yards, 32 yards.
Jacobo Guzman. Kick is up, kick is good, and just like that, Sumner has doubled up Lake Stevens 28-14 with 3:45 to go in the first half. We'll step away and be back after this.
Nationally known and locally owned, Southwest Washington is home to 6 locally owned Napa stores, providing you with the best quality parts and services you need. With fast access to an inventory of over 400,000 parts, with ASE certified parts specialists ready to help, it's no wonder so many do-it-yourselfers count on Napa Auto Parts. Visit Wilson's Napa Auto Parts in Centralia, Chehalis, Rochester, Tenino, Castle Rock, and the heavy-duty and wholesale location on State Avenue in Chehalis, or go to wilsonnapa.com.
Giesa Credit Union is proud to sponsor the 2025 WIAA State Football Championships. Welcome back to the live action on the NFHS Network. Tony Davila here, along with Jeff Weeks, Matthew King, and Keith King as well. And Sumner takes a 28-14 lead on Lake Stevens in the 4A championship game. Eggers catches the kickoff and is on the run. Eggers looking for a gap, and he'll be taken down at the 31-yard line, and that is where Lake Stevens will take over.
Look at this last Lance McGee touchdown run right up the middle now. Cuts out to his right a little bit, breaks a couple tackles, and once he gets an open space, you're not catching him.
You know, and what a great job up front. I mean, Sumner is really a great job offensively, control the line of scrimmage, giving both their running backs all kinds of room to run.
Play clock is rolling, and just now coming out is Lake Stevens. They wanted to talk a little bit extra there. Vikings have 10 seconds to get this play going. Mosier in the shotgun. And he'll toss it out wide to Price. Price trying to find the edge. Price has one man to beat, and the flag comes in. That'll be a hold. That's going to bring it back.
Yeah, that's a takedown right there.
Will Maxwell trying to hit that edge and got taken down by one of the linemen. And what has been a very clean first half of football. There haven't been a whole lot of flags here in this first half.
No, the officials have kind of just been hanging out for the most part. We saw that one pass interference, and other than that, there's been nothing.
Hanging out and enjoying the show because this has been a good game between these two teams.
Well, the back judge has gotten his sprints in, trying to run down some of these long touchdown runs.
So that will be a hold on the offense. 10-yard penalty, and we'll back up the Vikings.
Yeah, sometimes for the back judge, those wide open runs, these kids are fast.
Here comes Mosier. He's got Farrell next to him, puts Farrell in motion. Mosier Drops back to pass, throws it over the middle, and overthrows his target in Seth Price.
Looked like a little confusion on the route between Mosier and Price.
Elias Tulifua was the one trailing that. But again, just an overthrow. Seen a few of those here from Mosier.
Mosier just showing off that arm strength there.
Now he'll be all alone in the backfield. Trips to the left, twins to the right. Puts Farrell in motion, drops back to pass, has some time. Throws and off the fingertips of Max Cook. He got up to try to snag that one. And Cook trying to plead his case for a pass interference.
Things are unraveling quickly for Lake Stevens.
Well, they ran the mesh, and he had that mesh route open early. And one of the things when he gets a chance to talk to him, they're going to talk to him about throwing on time and hit that open receiver in the out, and that first receiver wide open, get it to him and let him run.
By the way, Lance McGee, 4 touchdowns. That ties the single-game state title rushing record for a 4A game. We still got a half to play.
There's still 3 minutes to go in this quarter. 3rd and 16. And running into a player and able to break out. What a good run from Mosier. Mosier has the first down and more. Gets a block. Mosier still going. And he'll step out of bounds at the Sumner 36-yard line. What a scramble from Blake Mosier.
I thought he was down in the backfield there, and he just came popping out the other side.
He should have been down.
He ran right into the chest of Gray Longoria and able to bounce out and gain a lot of yardage.
And be smart enough to get to the sideline and get out of bounds so he doesn't have to take a hit. That is just a gutsy and very intelligent play, Mosier. He's something special.
And Mosier, a junior, so he'll be back next season. Empty backfield. Puts Farrell in motion. He'll hand it to Farrell. Farrell cuts up and gets hit hard by Sean Griffith. 5-yard carry that time for Farrell.
Yeah, he took quite a lick there. I'm impressed he popped back up so quickly.
Bring up 2nd and 5. 2:40 to play in the first half. 28-14. Sumner with the lead. Sumner will have the ball to start the second half as well. Mosier, another empty backfield. This time he'll keep it himself. Cuts inside, breaks a tackle, has the first down. And there is that dual threat quarterback in Blake Mosier.
He is tough. There's no other way to describe it. Tough, smart. I mean, you name it, he is exactly what you want at a quarterback.
Smart, makes good plays, good decisions down the field. So now he'll start off with Farrell next to him. He'll put Farrell in motion. Mosier drops back. Reads. Throw is knocked down. Reading that one was Dylan Titiali'i, and Dylan has been everywhere in this first half.
It's a really nice job at Titiali'i of dropping back into that pass coverage and taking that mesh away.
As he was trying to find Kikoa Okiyama, and that was almost Titiali'i taking that one to the house. 2nd and 10 for Lake Stevens. From the Sumner 23. Again, empty backfield, Mosier. Drops back to pass. Guns it over the middle, and that time it is picked off. Elias Isaacs. Elias Isaacs down the far sideline and goes out of bounds at about the 40-yard line, but there is that interception. The turnover stops the drive of Lake Stevens.
Everything going the Spartans' way. Elias Isaacs watched his brother Steele win a state title on this field last year. He etches his name maybe into 4A playoff history with a great INT.
Well, Elias was on the team last year as well, so he helped carry that trophy. Now he's doing it solo without his brother.
But this one's his team. This is the one where he says, all right, big bro, you did a bulk of the work, but now it's my time to shine.
You got your title. I'm trying to get my second.
One up.
So here come the Spartans. McGee next to Donovan in the backfield. And McGee is wrapped up. That delay did not work at all. Tautolo blew that one up immediately, and that's a 1-yard loss. I think that was a frustration hit there from Tautolo.
Yeah, he just got swallowed up there as soon as he got the ball.
This is a big drive for the Lake Stevens defense. You cannot allow Sumner to score because then they get the ball to start the second half. You could be looking at a big deficit before your offense sees the field again.
Clock rolling, less than a minute to go. McGee breaks one tackle and gets hit from behind. A gain of 3. Again, the clock's still moving. 40 seconds to play in this first half.
Sumner's got all 3 timeouts, but it looks like they're more than happy with going to halftime with a 14-point lead with a possession to come to start the third quarter.
They have to run at least one more play. There's 18 seconds on the play clock, 20 on the game clock now. Donovan has McGee next to him. And he'll hand off to Lance McGee. McGee trying to break tackles and will fall forward for the first down right at midfield. 3 seconds to go. And he looks like he is going to be short, just short of the first down marker. There is a conversation now on the field.
He's going to be short. And they'll just let it expire.
And that is, looks like that will be that as Coach Ross comes out, has a conversation with the official. They say wind the clock, and now both teams headed to the locker room. At the end of the first half, it is Sumner 28, Lake Stevens 14. We will step away and be back with the halftime show. That is the Proactive Sports Med halftime show that is coming up next.
If a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? I don't know. But if a tree grows in the forest, it could be thanks to you. With Gisa's new Forever Green debit card, you'll be supporting tree planting efforts in the Pacific Northwest every time you use your card. It's easy. Swipe, plant, breathe, repeat. Get your Forever Green debit card today. Only at Gisa Credit Union.
Spin Tees Screen Print and Graphics in Olympia gives you the very best printing and embroidery, perfect for teams, schools, companies, or special events. Get excellent quality, custom designs, quick turnaround, and low pricing. Count on Spin Tees for quality brands like Port Authority, Sport Tech, and District Threads. For easy ordering and results you'll love, go to spinteeprints.com or check them out on Facebook.
Do you yearn to learn? Check out Centralia College Areas of Study. We've got Fine Arts and Design, Early Childhood Education, Application Development, Biology, and who could forget Electronics, Robotics, and Automation. Want to learn more? Check out our website or give us a call today.
Thorbex is more than a gym. They're a hub for youth activities and family fun. From action-packed youth programs to the pool where every splash is a step toward fitness. Shoot hoops, learn to play tennis, take up the pickleball craze, or challenge yourself in the boxing studio. How about yoga or spin classes? There's something for everyone. Whatever your passion, level, and pace, Thorbex has it all. Come be part of something bigger at Thorbex. where fitness meets fun for everyone.
Welcome to the Proactive Sports Med Halftime Show. Proactive takes a team approach to rehabilitation with locations in Tumwater, Bellevue, Lacey, and Olympia. Work, sports, life, get back to it at Proactive Physical Therapy. We also want to thank Pagliacci Pizza, powering our NFHS crew and serving Western Washington and supporting the community since 1979. Tony Davila here along with Keith King, Matthew King, and Jeff Weeks at the half. It is Sumner 28, Lake Stevens 14 as the Sumner band makes their way out onto the field to give a halftime show. But it looked like this game was going to be that back and forth, which team can take advantage of the other team, and it was Sumner taking advantage early on. They got their first stop, led to a touchdown, got an interception as well. The Spartans are starting to roll a little bit offensively and defensively in this one. Lake Stevens can't let them get away.
No, it's going to be real important for them to come out here in the third quarter right off the bat and get a stop and then go down and score and get themselves back into this one. If they give up another score, they're in some big trouble because they have no answer stopping the rushing game of Sumner and Lance McGee here in the first half.
And that's what Sumner has in their advantage, is they do have that workhorse power back that they can just hand the ball off to, grind out a lot of the time, go on these long sustained drives. They haven't really had to put the ball in the air so far. It has just been a lot of ground and pound that has been working at all levels so far for the Spartans.
Yeah, Nate Donovan has one pass attempt in the first half. He hasn't had to do much of anything, just giving the ball with Lance McGee. And again, you've mentioned it, Jeff, the offensive line deserves a ton of credit because when we've seen Israel Neighbors come in, he's having those explosive runs. So a lot of credit to the guys up front for the Sumner Spartans, creating some really good running lanes for those tailbacks.
Yeah, no need to try and pass the ball when you got two guys running like that.
And that's one that, and Donovan has done a really good job as well. He isn't usually a runner, but he has seen some gaps, taken his opportunities when he needs to. But the best thing he's done is slide. He hasn't taken a big hit. He hasn't tried to do too much on his own as well. He's just looking and getting what he's got and then get down, next play, hand off the ball. That has been the key so far for Sumner. Right now, Lake Stevens, they started rolling on offense, went for a couple of fourth downs, probably shouldn't have gone for that first one, but in a close game, you want to get all the momentum you can, and that swung the momentum into the favor of the Spartans.
Yeah, you think about taking the chance, and it was a good play, and it just wasn't executed, right? You take a chance, you give the short field to Sumner, allow them to get on top, and that's the room that they need, and then they get that second stop, and you're not planning for McGee to break one off, and then Neighbors, and they went right down the field real quickly there in that second drive off of that stop to be able and make that distance. And now there's a little bit of stress, right? You feel Mosier feels a little bit of stress offensively to try and make a big play, which is where he gets that interception here in the second quarter. He's trying to fit it into a window where the kid's triple covered. If he goes back and sees the film a little bit later, he's going to see that he had that mesh receiver underneath at about 5 yards open that he could have hit and let him run, but he's trying to make a big play.
Well, Mosier was 7 for his first 9, and the 2 incompletions were both drops. Nothing he could do. They have missed on the last 5 throws now. He's 7 for 14 at halftime. So, again, you mentioned it, Jeff. It's just about execution. Right now, Sumner is executing in all facets of the game. Lake Stevens missed tackles. They're missing those opportunities to get McGee and Neighbors down at the line of scrimmage. You got to clean those up. You cannot be missing tackles, especially now that you're down 14 going into halftime.
Yeah, that's one that both teams have really done a good job. But, again, it has been Sumner running the ball, using their D-line as well. They haven't allowed anybody to run to the edge against them. So far, Mosier has been the only one successful to get towards the edge, but they're just stringing them out and making them run sideline to sideline instead of north and south to try to plant and get up the field.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that your Lake Stevens Coach Try is going to come in and talk about is, hey, we're okay. We just need to be back and let's be ourselves and go back and just execute and do what we do offensively. We don't have to take any big chances. Just do what they give us. Take it, make sure plays, execute, move down the flow, right? Get a stop here, get us back in the zone, and we're right back in the ball game. Just take care of the ball.
Yeah, it's so easy when you get down to start trying to force things in, i.e. the interception. You just start playing off your heels a little bit, and they'll try and straighten that out here at halftime.
Yeah, that's one of the big keys here in these big games is panic mode can't set in right now. You're only down 14. You have a whole half to go. Your offense was rolling for a little bit there. You just have to get back to the plays that work for you. Get the pass play going. Get it to the outside. Their speed is what everybody talks about. Use your impact players. Use that speed on the outside. Those bubble screens were working early, and they've gotten away from those.
Yeah, they had a couple of drops and kind of got rid of those short, easy, high percentage throws. Got to get back to those. You just got to clean up the mistakes. I've also seen they're running the ball pretty well as well. So if they can keep that running game rolling along too, this offense is going to be very dynamic, very tough to stop. Can't key in on anything if you're Sumner.
Yeah, that is the big part there. And for Sumner, they get the ball to start the second half. It looked like they were going to try to double dip going out at halftime, but with that 14-point lead, didn't want to take too many chances, give it the ball over. So they're looking to run the ball, and they will start with the ball in the second half. We're going to go ahead and step away. We will be back with more of the Proactive SportsMed halftime show coming up next.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
At Tyler Rental, quality equipment and helpful counter pros save you costly delays. For projects big and small, Tyler has Genie man lifts and forklifts, Deere excavators, welders, and generators, plus new tools from Steel, Milwaukee, and Hilti. While you're in the store, shop for hard hats, safety glasses, gloves, hearing protection, and much more. Contractors and homeowners depend on Tyler Rental for selection and well-maintained equipment to avoid downtime. Tyler Rental, 153 Hamilton Road, south of Chehalis.
Good Health Nutrition Center in Centralia is your home base for nutrition. When you visit Good Health Nutrition Center, you'll find the largest selection of vitamins, supplements, and natural remedies. You may be surprised to also find a huge selection of healthy groceries such as gluten-free products, environmentally friendly products, organic fruits and vegetables, and items for specific diets like the diabetic diet. Good Health Nutrition Center, powering students and athletes from the inside out. Good Health Nutrition Center on Harrison in Centralia.
And welcome back to Husky Stadium here in Seattle. Tony Davila here along with a pair of Kings, Keith and Matthew, and Jeff Weeks as well. And at the half, it is Sumner 28, Lake Stevens 14 in a battle of the last three state champions. Two of them going to Lake Stevens, one of them for Sumner, but Sumner looking to add another trophy to their trophy case.
Well, of course, Paul Beatty found the irony in everything, how Westland beat Lake Stevens, won the 6A state title in Oregon, followed by Lake Stevens winning the title. The next year, they beat Lake Stevens. Westland lost the state title. Lake Stevens wins the 4A state title. Then they beat Sumner last year, does Westland, win the state title. Sumner wins the state title. They beat Sumner earlier this season and then lost in the playoffs same round. So everything's adding up. It would only be Paul Beatty to find out that information, by the way.
Yeah, that, and this is one of the revenge tour games of the Sumner Spartans. They got their revenge on Puyallup last week, the number one ranked team in the state. That was one of their losses in Washington. The other one was to Lake Stevens on the very first game of the year. They can't get revenge against West Lynn, so the revenge tour is on. next year could be Sumner Lake and West Lynn again.
Well, that game for Sumner against Puyallup was kind of the turning point of their season. I was there. I got to be on the call of that one. There's no way around it. They got whooped from start to finish. They got embarrassed in that ball game. A lot of changes happened for Sumner after that. This looks like a totally different football team than what you saw up to that point in the season. This is a team that is looking like a similar squad that came here to Husky Stadium and got that dramatic win over Camas to win that 4A state title for Coach Ross.
And the difference, and you think about that change since that game, has been what have they relied on offensively?
Lance McGee.
And he's just, the Oregon State commits put him on their shoulders, and he said, feed me the rock, and I'll take care of the rest. And he's had one of the best first halves of football. I mean, we still got plenty more to go, and he's going to need to continue it if they're going to repeat as champions. Because if he doesn't and they shut him down, then things are going to get interesting for Lake Stevens. But, if he can come back out and reestablish himself as the go-to back here and grind and lead him right down the field and keep putting points up on the board, Sumner's in a really good spot.
Yeah, and that's one that, as we've said, this is a different team than what Lake Stevens saw in that first week. It's a different Lake Stevens team than Sumner saw in that first week as well. Some players step up, there are injuries for both sides, but that's one that you got to play next man up. And some people step up later in the game, later in the year. You get this; these are high school kids. You get those growth spurts, you get that extra little burst here or there, and things can change. And so far, things have changed enough for Sumner that they've caught Lake Stevens kind of sleeping a little bit.
Yeah, Lake Stevens really needs to make the proper adjustments here at halftime. They need to come out here, get the big stop, and get right back in this thing.
And I think you do that by going back and having success for Mosier, right? Give him some easy throws early, get him back in rhythm, some nice short things, throw on time, move the pocket for him a little bit, where they had success early, where, because he's that dual threat, right? You got to kind of come up. They got some nice big passing gains out of that by moving the pocket and letting him get out on the edge and have some nice targets to get to.
And they were using that early. They have run some jet sweeps, haven't handed the ball off on those jet sweeps. They were getting the bubble screens out. He's faked a couple of times on some handoffs, kind of keep the defense guessing what they're going to do. They got to get back to that in the second half.
Can't be too predictable.
Exactly. That's one that when you start to do the same thing over and over and over again, they run the same formation several times and run the same play out of the formation. That's when second half you come out and you have somebody bite on one of those fakes and you can get that big play down the field. All right, it looks like that is going to do that. Will wrap up the Proactive SportsMed halftime show, which is powered by Pagliacci Pizza. Second half kickoff is coming up next. Sumner starts off with the ball in the second half. We'll return with that.
For 50 seasons, when it comes to passion and noise and dedication, it's always the 12s.
Thorbeck's Athletic Club is your community fitness destination with 4 locations in Centralia, Chehalis, Grand Mound, and South Bend. A Thorbeck's membership gains you access to all facilities, including state-of-the-art cardio and strength equipment, group fitness classes, indoor pool, basketball, pickleball, and more. Thorbeck's is more than a gym. They're a support system helping you live healthier and happier. Experience the difference and join the Thorbeck's community today, where everyone belongs.
There are many ways for businesses to expand their customer base, but one of the tried and true ways of increasing customer loyalty and recognizing employees is to put your name and logo on promotional and motivational items. You can find a wide selection at Alderson's Awards West in Centralia. Shirts, hats, coats, mugs, pens, and more, all with high-quality screen printing or embroidery done on-site. For a full catalog of items at great prices, go to aldersons.net.
Giesa Credit Union is proud to sponsor the 2025 WIAA State Football Championships. Welcome back to the live action on the NFHS Network. Tony Davila here, along with Keith King, Matthew King, and Jeff Weeks as we get set for second half action between Lake Stevens and Sumner in the last football championship, boys football championship of the year. Well, technically, the second one is going to be played in February. That's girls flag football, which is the new sport. This year, it is now a recognized WIAA sport, but their championship is in February, so this is the last football championship of 2025.
There you go. If you were going to say year again, I was going to say, well, school year, you get 25. Yeah, you're right, though. You covered all your bases. Hats off to you, Mr. Davila.
And, of course, it is only fitting, as I said earlier, that we're at Husky Stadium and two purple and gold teams are playing for the last title here of this fall sports season. What a game between these two early on. It was 14-14 until Sumner took over, got a couple of stops on fourth down. Lance McGee has had a first half for sure for the Spartans.
Well, I'll say these two purple and gold teams a lot more likable and fun to watch than any other purple and gold team that comes to mind. But, yeah, Lance McGee had quite the first half. He could not play in the second half, and you'd still be like, wow, he had one heck of a ball game. He still gets another half to play, and then you can say for Lake Stevens, they were on pace to just go toe-to-toe with that, answer blow for blow. So this Lake Stevens defense, it's going to be gut check time. They got to come out. They got to make a stop, make a statement, and get themselves back into this one in the third quarter.
You'll get no argument from me on that one as a Longhorns fan. All right, about ready to start the second half, and it will be Lake Stevens kicking off to Sumner. Back deep to receive is going to be Braylon Pope and Wyatt Plyler. I got it right. I didn't even have to look. I doubted myself. It is Wyatt Plyler back to receive. Lucas Mooring on to kick this ball away. And if this kick is it like any of the other ones, it's going into the end zone, and it's going to be a start at the 20. Ball falls off the tee, so now Mooring's got to replace it. Mooring backs up. Mooring has a big leg, and Chip trying to get the onside kick. Ball is up, and who comes up with the recovery? Trying to go Colts on him. And it looks like coming out of the pack, who gets the ball? I haven't seen anybody point. Everybody for Lake Stevens is pointing one way, Sumner's pointing the other, but it doesn't matter which way the teams are pointing. It matters which way the officials are pointing.
And a long discussion here.
And that's one that the onside kick, you got to see when they touched the ball first, when the ball got touched by Lake Stevens trying to recover that. As the discussion continues between all of the officials, and that is Sumner ball. So trying to catch everybody off guard. No, they pointed the wrong way. It is Lake Stevens ball.
Wow, talk about a change of emotions right there.
And Mooring just caught everybody off guard, able to tap it away, trying to come up to make the play for Sumner was Martimanoff. couldn't quite secure the ball in, and just Lake Mosier and company can do. It'll be Kenny Buckmiller, Ryder Tolan. We'll have to apologize as the froze up here for a moment. But we are back and rolling here in the very capable hands of Matthew King.
And Jeff Weeks. Jeff Weeks helped out there.
That looked like a team effort for sure.
Had to combine the two brain cells. As the flag comes in, see what the call is. That'll go against Sumner. And it is a personal foul against the defense. So that will tack that on to the end of the run. First down for Lake Stevens. They have the ball at the 13 of Sumner. And what a start to this second half for the Vikings.
Just come out and clawing their way right back into this one.
Mosier. Handoff goes to Farrell. And he is met short gain there, 2 yards for Jay.
The onside kick, I don't know when exactly we froze up. So if you missed the onside kick, which I hope you didn't, all sorts of dramatics giving Lake Stevens the ball to start the third quarter. We apologize again. Everything just froze on us.
As you see the replay there, and Lucas Mooring able to blow up Martimenov to recover that onside kick to start the second half. Blake Mosier in the shotgun. Looks to the sideline. Now he'll switch Farrell to behind him. Mosier rolls out, has a man, but no, too wide. Was looking for Seth Price, and a flag comes in. It looked like that was well read on the outside by Sumner. Neighbors was on the coverage. See what the call is here. As Lake Stevens starting to roll.
Now, long discussion, though.
I was watching where Mosier was going. It looked like it was a clean play by Neighbors coming across. I'm not sure what the flag was. But again, I was watching where Mosier was. It might have come before he was able to throw the ball.
It looked like he came in where the ball was meeting the receiver.
Yeah, that's definitely the location, but
I think it came in as that ball was got to the receiver after it. Yeah.
And a dead ball foul will move this half the distance. And that's that helmet to helmet, lowered the helmet and just caught the side of the helmet of the receiver.
Looks like it was a good call by the official. I did not catch that from up here.
Well, they have a little better vantage point than we do way up here. Third down for Lake Stevens. Handoff goes to Farrell, and he is met, but it gets the first down. It is first and goal from the 2-yard line for Lake Stevens.
Really good job up front by that offensive line, giving Farrell a lane to run in.
Those are some big boys up front leading the way. Time keeps on ticking. Just over 10 minutes remain here in the third quarter. Lake Stevens trying to cut into this lead of Sumner. Mosier puts a man in motion. Handoff. No, he's going to keep it himself. Fakes and gets into the end zone. And that time he put Elias Isaacs on skates and gets into the end zone. What a run from Blake Mosier.
Second touchdown run for Mosier of this ball game. What a gutsy call by Coach Try to come out, kick the onside kick to start the second half. It works out, and now all of a sudden we're back to a one-score game.
And a lot of that stems from those fakes that Mosier's throwing. It is easy to bite on those fakes.
Mooring on to kick the PAT. Kick is up, and it is good. And it is 28-21. Sumner leads Lake Stevens. We will step away and be back after this.
Are you making these money mistakes that will
ruin your employees?
Act rich, get rich.
It's new. It's gross. It's Bitcoin. Crypto, baby! Are you wondering, how am I making money? How am I traveling the world and just living my best life? Well, it's pretty easy, okay?
See what I mean? Let's talk about managing your money in real life.
Mom, get out of here!
Thank you.
Find a healthier approach to money at GISA.
Welcome back to the NFHS Network. Today's game at Husky Stadium is presented by the Seattle Seahawks, supporting WIAA football and the launch of girls flag football with the inaugural state championship coming up in February. Tony Davila here along with Jeff Weeks, Keith King, and Matthew King as Lake Stevens scores on the opening possession of the second half. And now if you're Sumner, you got to be wary of those onside kick attempts now. Mooring run up, and now he'll boot it deep. And that'll go into the end zone, and Sumner will take over at their own 20.
And that's what made that onside attempt so successful, is the fact he's boomed everything else through the end zone.
Just caught everybody off guard to start the second half. Able to put together that drive to get on the board here in the second half to cut into that lead. Now it is Sumner's turn. Nate Donovan will go under center, has Lance McGee behind him. Two receivers split out wide to his left. It'll be a handoff to McGee. McGee breaks one tackle, and a 7-yard run for Lance McGee.
Really nice job off the left side. Stretches that out. Off tackle.
Second and 3 here for Sumner. See what Coach Ross's answer is here. Donovan under center. Sends Pollard out wide. McGee drives forward and has the first down. Needed 3, got 3.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And right now they are just feeding Lance McGee the rock.
They're going to feed him until Lake Stevens stops him.
They might feed him the rest of the season then.
Well, here's the thing, right? There's no need to panic here. You had a nice long drive back in the first half, and you went right down the field. Now just rinse and repeat.
Donovan goes under center. Handoff. McGee. He'll fall forward for 5 more yards.
You know, and the nice thing about Sumner here is he takes this right up the middle here, follows his block, is you're keeping Lake Stevens' offense off the field.
Yep. You're just taking that time down. You mentioned how long that first touchdown drive was for Sumner. They'd love to replicate that one here.
2nd and 5 from their own 35. Sumner. Donovan. Handoff. McGee breaks one tackle, falls forward. Short of the first down, but it'll be 3rd and 2 coming up for the Spartans. Good job wrapping up that time by Lake Stevens.
And we've seen Nate Donovan use his legs too, so they keep feeding that ball. Eventually you can pull one on a little bootleg. I don't know if you do that on 3rd down, but you got to think that one might be coming here soon.
3rd and 2. Donovan has McGee right next to him. He'll hand it to McGee, jump stop, and he will get taken down right at the line to gain.
Looks like he's got
he's got it.
Taken down right at the 40-yard line, and a fresh set of downs for Sumner. Israel Neighbors going to check in now for the Spartans. McGee going to get a bit of a breather. But the other weapon that we haven't seen so far for Sumner is Braylon Pope. They tried to get it to him once, but haven't really had to throw the ball at all in this game.
And what's the point of throwing the ball right now if you're moving the ball like this on the ground?
And it's like a timeout going to be called by Sumner. The play clock was winding down. They called the timeout. 7:06 to go in the third quarter, 28-21. We will step away with them. We'll be back after this with more of the 4A State Championship. And welcome back to Husky Stadium. Tony Davila here along with Keith King, Matthew King, and Jeff Weeks as we see the mascot dancing along the sideline.
Tony actually just did the exact same move up here, believe it or not.
Got boots on and everything. Missed it. It's one of those you got to come to the game to see that. 28-21, Donovan. Handoff goes to McGee. McGee gets stacked up and no gain. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and taking him down was Caden Blanchard.
And this was one that just took too long, right? This took too long to develop and allowed Lake Stevens to get some penetration there on that counter.
Braden Slezak was also there to slow him up.
That was a team effort. I think Will Lynch was in on the stop. It's going to be that kind of day for Lake Stevens. It's going to take multiple guys to really shut down Lance McGee.
2nd and 10, Donovan under center. Fakes the handoff. Now he's looking to pass, throws it to the outside, and brought in. Ashton Pollard makes the catch. 15-yard completion to Pollard.
That's just a great catch. Him going up the elevator there to go get that.
Give him 16 on that completion.
First completed pass for Sumner in this game. Donovan put that ball where only Pollard could go make a play, and boy, did Pollard make a play.
Got up and used every bit of that 6'4" frame to bring that ball in. First and 10 for Sumner. Donovan under center. Fakes the handoff again. Looking to pass, throws it opposite side. McGee makes the catch, makes a man miss, and has the first down. Gets it to the outside, and there's a 13-yard completion to Lance McGee.
And now if you let Donovan start to really cook, that's just going to add another layer to what Lake Stevens is going to have to stop. You don't want to make this any harder than it has to be. You cannot allow them to have that many wide open receivers down the field.
Yeah, Sumner was ready to start this passing game as soon as they felt they needed to.
Donovan, handoff, McGee. McGee fighting for extra yards, and he'll be about 2 yards short of the first down, but right up the middle. Brought down that time. Coming up with the play was Tautolo. And Ty has had a very active game early.
Tautolo has been all over the place, side to side for Lake Stevens. Got off to a really good start for the Vikings. They're going to need that defense to make a couple of plays in a row here.
Second down. Donovan under center. Handoff, McGee. McGee goes in the middle and cuts back, and McGee gone. Flag comes in. He got into the end zone, but was that a block down the field? Was that receiver blocking a little too aggressively? See what the call is. McGee's calling for a face mask. That was a 23-yard touchdown run by McGee. Does it hold up? And here is the call. It is a face mask by the defense, so McGee gets touchdown number 5 of the game.
And that is a new record for a 4A championship game, 5 rushing touchdowns. The all-time record, regardless of classification in a championship game, is 6. So he is knocking on the door of that. What a day for Lance McGee.
And we watched that 6 get set just last year.
There's been 2 with 6. We had a 1B back in 2019, Marcus King for Odessa.
So we just saw a tie last year.
We saw a record for 11-man.
There you go. Jacobo Guzman on to kick the PAT for Sumner. Trying to make this a 14-point game again. Snap is good. Hold is there. And it is 35-21. Sumner with a lead on Lake Stevens. 4:46 to go in the third quarter. We will step away and be back after this.
At Tyler Rental, quality equipment and helpful counter pros save you costly delays. For projects big and small, Tyler has Genie man lifts and forklifts, Deere excavators, welders, and generators, plus new tools from Steel, Milwaukee, and Hilti. While you're in the store, shop for hard hats, safety glasses, gloves, hearing protection, and much more. Contractors and homeowners depend on Tyler Rental for selection and well-maintained equipment to avoid downtime. Tyler Rental, 153 Hamilton Road, south of Chehalis.
Welcome back to Husky Stadium, and that face mask will be enforced here on the kickoff. So a little bit further forward goes Bergen Erickson to boot this ball away back to the Lake Stevens Vikings.
Just a 5-yard face mask, though.
Points to the sides. And Erickson straight down the middle. It'll a low hopper brought in, and Lake Stevens trying to make people miss. Ball will go out to the 31-yard line, and that is where the Vikings will take over on offense. Good return that time by Deuce Wilson.
And right now it feels like the pressure is obviously on the Lake Stevens defense. They're going to have to find a way to get a stop. But right now, because that defense hasn't been able to get a stop, the offense is under a ton of pressure as well, because they have to go down and they have to answer Sumner 7 with one of their own. Otherwise, they're going to stay behind by multiple possessions.
Yeah, you have to keep up with them right now.
Quads to the left of Mosier. Puts Farrell in motion. Pass will go out to Farrell. Cuts back up, and he'll gain some yardage. Nice 5-yard catch and run there by Jay Farrell. Lake Stevens, their offense has moved. They've been able to get up and down the field. There have been a couple of miscues. That interception by Elias Isaacs. Couple of fourth down attempts, but they've been able to move the ball pretty steadily. Fakes the pass, throws it down the middle, and waiting on it, but had to wait too long, able to make up ground. Great coverage down the field by Isaiah Ferguson to break that one up last minute.
I think he just got a hand on that one at the end, was able to knock it away. They were looking for the home run to Seth Price, who got behind the defense. But again, that wind picking up just a little bit, Tony. Played with that ball just enough for Ferguson to get back in position.
Yeah, it really did. It just kind of hung up there and gave those DBs a chance to get back and poke it away at the last second here as you look at the replay. Just the hand at the last second.
It was like Elias Isaacs was back there too.
3rd and 5. Mosier rolling out. Mosier going to keep it himself. Breaks a tackle, has the first down and more. Mosier still running. Mosier looking to get to the end zone. Trying to cut him off is Israel Neighbors, and Mosier into the end zone for the touchdown.
Just showing off those wheels.
64 yards, and he did most of that by himself once he got up on the edge and cut back against the grain.
As we see the replay, makes one man miss, breaks a tackle, and he is gone. Cuts back towards the opposite side, and then it is a foot race, and you are not catching Blake Mosier at that point. He gets into the end zone for the quick touchdown, which is exactly what Lake Stevens needed. Mooring on to kick the PAT. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, kick is good. And it is 35-28. Sumner with the lead, 3:39 to go in this third quarter. And back and forth we go between these two teams. Now Lake Stevens needs a stop on defense to make this a little bit more interesting.
They've been searching for that stop all game long, have not been able to find it. What wrinkle do they have over there on that Viking sideline to just try to get Sumner off their rhythm?
Well, here's the thing for Sumner, right? Just this last drive, right? They go 10 plays, take another 5+ minutes to go 80 yards and score. Now, if they do that again to go up 14, there's more pressure back on that Lake Stevens offense. So this is a big opportunity here for the Vikings on defense to see if they can't force, right? It's okay to bend here a little bit, but time to not break.
You can also see Sumner not taking a chance. The hands team is up as well. They got burned by the onside kick to open the second half. They're not trying to get burned by it again.
Well, I think their thought is either they're going to kick it through the back of the end zone or try an onside it. We don't really need our normal kick return unit out there.
Mooring on the run up. Onside kick, pooch towards the sideline, and who comes up with it? Flag comes in right away.
That was a helmet-to-helmet hit there.
Don't even have a signal on who's got the ball. It looked like Lake Stevens came away with the football.
It did. It looked like tracking that ball for Lake Stevens was Dylan Finney. And that was a great onside kick attempt. That's two different onside kick versions that have come from Lucas Mooring. He had that tapper right up the middle, and that one just kind of floated towards that sideline right in front of the bench of Lake Stevens.
Definitely a talented kicker. He's shown us that he can do lots of different things with that foot.
Got a really nice bounce there as well.
You hear about the arm angles of quarterbacks. The kick angles of these kickers is not something that most people talk about, but Mooring showing off the bag of tricks here at this state championship game.
And based on the Lake Stevens mascots, they don't look to be too happy.
As the discussion goes on by the officials right in front of the Lake Stevens bench.
Really felt like a targeting over there, trying to get on top of that ball.
And again, if it is targeting, it's different than college. It's not an ejection. Coach Ross is over here on the near side. He wants to know what in the world is going on.
He just wants to know whose ball it is.
Again, these officials are coming from all over the state. These guys don't work together on the regular, so it sometimes takes a little extra time.
Well, and this is a big call, too. They want to make sure they get this right.
This is a big game. This possession would mean a lot for both of these sides. And now we're going to get the explanation.
Kick catch interference.
There you go. That's one that's one way to get around onside kicks. Fair catch. Call for a fair catch. And trying to slide on that for Sumner was Xander Cipher.
But correct me if I'm wrong, Jeff. You can't call for a fair catch. That ball bounces off the ground like it did.
True, but the penalty came as he was the guy trying to go and catch the ball. So here we go. They're going to see if they change it. More discussion.
More discussion, and pointing the opposite way is Keegan Brown. And that's one guy you don't want to fire up for Lake Stevens because he comes in as their leading sack guy, and you don't want him playing angry at this point.
Yeah, and the players are looking up at the scoreboard, right? And what they're not understanding is the penalty is for impeding the kid to catch it, right? As he went in, as the shot came in, right? He got hit first before Lake Stevens got on the ball.
And no, that penalty's declined, and
We've got
they pointed the
wrong way. Yeah.
Yeah, and Lake Stevens is just seeing it is Sumner ball.
And that's the second time that these officials pointed the wrong way, gave Lake Stevens some hope. The fans went crazy until they saw that it was the wrong way.
Well, I think Coach Ross is over here saying, why would I decline a penalty if they get the football?
Coach Ross is thinking, you keep doing that, I'm going to have a heart attack over here.
We were making jokes about us getting confused. Apparently it's the officials that have gotten a little confused.
All right, so all of that is cleared up. Sumner will have the ball at their own 45-yard line. That is where Nate Donovan will take over. He goes under center. 3-man shift. Donovan hands off to Lance McGee. McGee around the edge. McGee runs over a man, and McGee runs out of bounds, but lowers the shoulder.
Yeah, he was 3 feet out of bounds before he even realized he was out of bounds.
Really nice job of changing the field and the leverage, right? All the leverage into the boundary. Really nice blocking and just lowering
truck stick. My goodness, I hurt just watching that one from up here.
Lance McGee is something different for sure. 5 touchdowns already in this game for Sumner. Donovan in the shotgun this time. He'll hand it to McGee. McGee, short gain. Gets 3. That keeps the clock moving. Sumner has that 7-point lead, just over 3 minutes to go in this third quarter. And that's something we've talked about, is these long, sustained drives by Sumner eating up a lot of the time. Donovan has McGee next to him. Twin receivers to his left. McGee on the delay, and he falls forward, gets taken down. Deshaun Harding able to trip him up.
Donovan thought about pulling that and taking it off the side, and that just threw the timing off just a little bit.
That delay hasn't really worked for Sumner. That's been one that Lake Stevens has been able to sniff that out and haven't really let them get that one going.
That was a great job by Dre Harding as well to come in from behind and wrap up Lance McGee low, get him down, force this third medium. Donovan, high snap, brings it down, throws it out to Pollard, and Pollard is hit immediately. Good open field tackle that time. Coming up with the big play for Lake Stevens, I believe that was Grayson Eggers.
Number 20.
Oh, so that was Brian Tillman that comes up with the play.
Tillman was all over that one, hit him as soon as he made that catch.
They're leaving the offense on the field.
This is out of the range of the kicker. You don't really want to punt at this point, so go for it on offense. Why not for Sumner?
Could be the play of the game right here.
Donovan under center. They make that three-person shift. Hand off to McGee. McGee trying to find an opening, and McGee gets the first down. Gets down to the 25-yard line. Just follows the blockers that are in front of him. Patience, able to find that gap and get the first down.
You have to have a special running back for on 4th and 5 in a situation like this. There's no hesitation. Nobody was questioning. It was going to Lance McGee. That tells you what kind of talent he is. And, of course, he was going to come up with a big play.
It's so hard to bring him down.
1st and 10 from the 25 of the Vikings. Pitch to McGee. And McGee breaking tackles, but Shoestring brings him down at the last second. Just getting enough of him to bring him down. I believe that might have been Seth Price. Had a guy beat and then just tripped up at the last second.
And look at his footwork there, though. The ability to stop on a dime and then cut and continue.
Yeah, he had a defender ready to hit him and just stepped inside of him.
That was Dylan Finney that brought him down. But it is 1st and goal for Sumner. Donovan, handoff, McGee. McGee gets stacked up. 1 yard gain that time for Lance McGee. And that will end the third quarter. 3 quarters down, 1 to go, and Washington Dairy is excited to see how the fourth quarter plays out next. We'll find out with Sumner leading Lake Stevens 35-28. Back after this.
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
And welcome back to Husky Stadium. Tony Davila here along with Keith King, Matthew King, and Jeff Weeks as we see these third quarter highlights. And what a way to start out the second half. That onside kick caught everybody by surprise. Lake Stevens able to go down and score, but not keep Sumner off the board as well in that third quarter, but able to cut into that lead. It is now just a 7-point lead.
Well, and they tried that second onside kick, but they just got the kick-catch interference in there.
Sumner does have second and goal coming from the 8-yard line.
They do have Lance McGee, who has 5 touchdowns, a 4A state championship game record.
Yeah, looking to tie the all-time record at 6.
Yeah. And he is in the backfield. Donovan under center. Fakes the handoff, throws, and Pollard. There was a little bit of a jersey pull, and Pollard was calling for it. Ball got tipped, though.
I think that ball was tipped, yeah.
Yeah, takes the penalty away.
Great job by the defensive line for Lake Stevens because they definitely bailed out their DB, who was going to 100% be called for pass interference there.
I was shocked when the flag didn't come in, but I didn't see the tip.
Keegan Brown got a hand up on it. Able to get skyward to knock that ball away. 3rd and goal for Sumner. Donovan has a man to the outside and Pollard. It'll be a toss to McGee. Had to rein it in. Didn't catch it clean, and he gets stopped by Keegan Brown this time.
Yeah, really bad pitch, right? They had him by number. They had him outflanked, but McGee had to slow down and reach backwards to secure that so they didn't fumble. And now take the points, right?
Back-to-back big plays by Keegan Brown, and that will bring up Juan Jacobo Guzman to kick this field goal. So it'll be from the 17. This is a 27-yard attempt for the Spartans. Snap, and it's a fake. Thrown up into the end zone, and no.
That was not a fake. That was just couldn't get the ball down and set the holder.
You're right, Keith. You nailed it. The holder did not bring that one in cleanly, and it threw off the timing completely, and he just tried to make something happen because nobody was going downfield.
Didn't want to pull a young way on that one and kick the ground.
And now Lake Stevens, here's your chance, right? Here's your break. Now come back, play offense, come down, tie it up.
So Lake Stevens will take over at their own 10-yard line. And yeah, that was one that Abbott could never bring that ball in.
Great job, though, by the holder to throw that ball, because if it's a missed kick, you give Lake Stevens the ball at the 20, incomplete pass, it's back to where the line of scrimmage was.
Good point, Matthew.
I guess. Mosier, handoff will go to Farrell, and he is wrapped up in the backfield. That's a 2-yard loss.
Sumner not looking to let this one slip away. This defense is going to be coming.
Well, they have confidence. They've gotten some stops in this ball game, so they know that they can slow down this Lake Stevens offense. However, Mosier has really run wild on them in the second half.
Mosier in the shotgun. Spins and throws one wide. Had a man right in his face. That was Will Maxwell. Made him adjust that throw and ends up missing his target. Brings up 3rd and 12.
And more zone coverage now from Sumner instead of man, which allowed them to get some pressure on here on Mosier and still have coverage over the top of that wide receiver.
I think Maxwell might have actually got his hands on that one as well. That ball was spinning quite awkwardly out of Mosier's hand.
3rd and 12. Mosier puts a man in motion. He's going to run it around the edge. Now he'll drop back, cut the other way, trying to string everybody out. Now he'll break a tackle, still on his feet, and goes backwards. Gets taken down at the 1-yard line, and that'll bring up 4th down. 6-yard loss. They'll mark him at the 2.
They read that initial run very well, and when he tried to cut back, they've got some speed too, and they were all over him.
Sean Griffith, the one to bring him down in the end, but yeah, that's one that scrambling around, it's all good, but you just put your punter in a very bad position because now Lucas Mooring has his heels on the end line.
And Sumner's bringing the house to try and knock this thing down.
And a delay of game, that's going to be half the distance, so it'll go to the 1.
Probably a bright idea not burning one of your timeouts there for a yard.
Yeah.
Yeah, not going to make a whole lot of difference here.
Again, Mooring making sure where his feet are in the end zone. You got to stay in the purple.
Need a good snap here.
Gets the snap. Kick is away. It's a short hopper. And it'll roll to about the 33 of Lake Stevens, and that is where Sumner will take over.
I don't know if anyone saw Isaiah Ferguson was blocking downfield, and he heard Peter, or fire, whatever the call is for Sumner, and he sprinted to the sideline to make sure he was out of the way. That ball wasn't going to hit him. That's a really smart play.
You don't want that ball to check up and hit you at any point, so just get out of the way. Here comes Nate Donovan and company. Donovan looks to the sideline.
Short field. Every time they've had the short field here, Sumner's been able to punch it in.
9:18 to play in the 4th. Donovan. Handoff, McGee, and he will fall forward for a 4-yard gain.
almost looked like he didn't get that secured very well. He held on to it, but
Tolo, the one to bring him down. Keeps the clock moving as well. 10 seconds on the play clock. Donovan. Handoff. McGee. And getting wrapped up by Keegan Brown. No gain.
Keegan Brown is having a monster fourth quarter. He's been good all game long, but that is the third massive play by the defensive lineman.
And this is time now they need to think about a hard count, or at least going on 2 here, because they're starting to time this and get back into the backfield here.
We
a
saw
little
that
too easy.
In the 2A game, Tumwater was really timing it up with Archbishop Murphy. A.B. Murphy waited until that last drive to go with the hard count, see if Sumner switches it up a little bit earlier.
So here comes Donovan, see if they do that. Donovan. Snap, McGee. Follows a blocker, and McGee has the first down. And a flag comes in at the end of the play.
Right now it's a 10-yard pickup, but we'll check the laundry.
Looks like that's in the area of a hold late. We'll see.
That was just one of those just timed runs by McGee, just waiting for the blockers, and it is a hold against the Spartans. So wipe off that run. But it'll go from the spot.
Yeah, they're still going to lose yardage from where they just had the ball, however.
2 down territory, though.
So it'll bring up 3rd and 9. As you see that hold right on the edge there.
Blocking the back, too. They had their choice.
Elijah Thomas got caught with his hand in the cookie jar that time. So here comes Donovan with the play.
10 seconds on the play clock, and they're just breaking the huddle.
They're going to go quick. 3. And they get the play off. Donovan, pass, thrown over the middle and broken up. Trying to go to Kai Moody, and getting there was Kenny Buckmiller.
Great timing by Buckmiller. Nice block, by the way, by Israel Neighbors stepping up, but Buckmiller was all over that. Perfectly played by the linebacker. Who says linebackers can't play a little coverage as well?
Buckmiller played that one very well. That tight end linebacker met. Buckmiller gets the win there. 4th down. Sumner puts a man in motion. Donovan drops back. Neighbors picks up another block, gets it to Pope, and Braylon gets stacked up, trying to break out of a tackle. Stays on his feet, and he will be taken down at the 30-yard line, and that is where Lake Stevens will take over. Just what the Vikings needed, down by 7. 7:08 to play in the 4th quarter. Looking for the tying or go-ahead points here.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting because now you're starting to see Lake Stevens. Time is not really a problem right now. But this drive they need to score because they can't keep just trading punts, trading turnovers on downs with Sumner, because then time does become a problem and you completely lose that run game.
Lake Stevens has all 3 of their timeouts. Sumner with the 2. Mosier drops back to pass and dropped. Another drop by the Vikings receiving corps.
I believe that's 4.
Yes, 4.
And these last few have been the receiver turning up the field before they complete the catch, looking to make their move before they fully secure the ball.
You got to make sure you have the ball in your possession before you can think about what you're going to do with it.
Empty
they
backfield.
Only have 10 on the field.
Mosier going to keep it himself, gets around the edge, and Mosier trying to dive forward for the first down. He'll be short. He gains 7 on that run before he is forced out of bounds.
No, Keith, I think they did have 11 out there.
I just can't count. I got you.
Mosier's walking a little gingerly back to the huddle. That did not feel good for him getting tackled on that sideline. Hopefully he's okay. He's going to need his mobility for Lake Stevens to pull off this comeback.
He got met by Micah Pataya and Isaiah Ferguson. 3rd and 3. Mosier tossed, is caught, brought down, and has room to run. Ferguson trying to cover and bringing him in, and down is Elias Tulifua, but not until the first down is already met, and long run down the sideline for the Vikings.
Really good job with the right cross on the rollout, take him out the other way as Sumner really flowed hard with the pocket moving to the right.
That time got it to his tight end in Grayson Eggers.
And he was all alone on that far side of the field. And what a massive play for the Vikings. They got momentum back on their side.
First down at the Sumner 25. Pass again to the outside. Stops, cuts, and is met by Ferguson. And Ferguson forced the receiver out of bounds. That was Max Cook.
Tried to spin out of that tackle, but just couldn't quite get free.
Cook opened the game with a touchdown. He caught the first touchdown pass for Lake Stevens.
On a great catch as well.
It was contested. Pistol now for Mosier. He's going to keep it, throws it out wide, has his man in Price. And Seth Price will step out of bounds.
But got that first down.
Gets to the 11-yard line, so they can pick up another first down at the 1-yard line for Lake Stevens.
A really good job, play design, right? We're back to that bubble screen. You've got the receiver who just had a stay route, just waiting to be a safety valve. And DB's backed up, sitting there all alone. Nice, easy toss and catch for the first down.
Well, it's a variation of the triple option. You can hand it off, he can run it, or he can throw it out to that screen.
Empty backfield for Mosier. Puts a man in motion. Mosier, quick bubble screen again. Same play. Price going to dive forward. And he goes down at the 5-yard line. Pataya brought him down. 2nd and 4. Again, Lake Stevens can get the first down at the 1, but they're not worried about a first down. They're worried about a touchdown here. Mosier going to keep it himself, run right up the middle. Did he get there? No, he got taken down at the 1-yard line. Just brought down, got met at the goal line, but that is 1st and goal from the 1 for Lake Stevens. And Elias Tulifula, the one to bring him down.
5:20 to play. What a ball game.
Mosier, again, empty backfield. He's going to keep it himself again, and he'll get met. Did he get in? He did. Just got into the end zone, able to stretch for it. He got hit by a couple of Sumner Spartans, but he's able to muscle his way through and into the end zone. And now Lake Stevens is a PAT away from tying this game at 35.
Boy, and it felt like at halftime that Lake Stevens was kind of out of this game. They have played really well here in the second half.
That's one. Look at him. He falls on top of the defender and just gets the nose of that football to break the plane.
He got met by Titi Ali'i and Maxwell.
Great shot by our crew. He's definitely on the body of the defender.
Snap is down, and it is good, and we are tied 35-35. Lake Stevens and Sumner with 5:03 to go in the fourth. We'll be back after this.
Are you continuing your athletic career? If so, Centralia College could be the place for you. Our programs here are designed to inspire and help kids evolve and grow individually, both on and off the field. If all of that sounds great, come join us here at Centralia College.
Welcome back to Husky Stadium here in Seattle, and what a game this is. 35-35, Lake Stevens and Sumner after a great effort by Blake Mosier to get into the end zone to tie this game up. And now Sumner will get the ball, but you got to be wary. We've seen two different onside kick attempts, one of them successful for Lake Stevens, one of them close to being successful, but catch interference was called. And now didn't get all of it, but puts it into a good spot into the corner. Going to be returned by Sumner, and they'll take it out to the 22-yard line.
I just want to give props real quick to our crew, Vancouver Public Schools. They got a phenomenal shot of that touchdown. They have been working so hard this entire weekend. We cannot thank them enough for, again, as Tyler Hergert said, doing the impossible and making us look and sound good. So shout out to them.
Exactly. Vancouver Public Schools help us out with so much around here. All of the replays you're seeing, camera angles, that's student-led.
Yeah, high school students filming for high school students.
Here come the Sumner Spartans, that triple shift. Nate Donovan, handoff to McGee. McGee stacked up. Gets to the 26-yard line.
It's the 35th carry for Lance McGee.
He has been busy for sure.
And he'd like to find that sixth touchdown by the end of this drive.
Keeps the clock rolling. 4.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Donovan in the shotgun, has McGee next to him. Nate Donovan, handoff, McGee right up the middle, trying to back in, and he will get close to the first down. Far side says he's got it. See where they spot this ball.
Just short.
Buckmiller able to stop him. Yeah, just short. It'll be 3rd and inches here. Third and less than a yard. Donovan in the shotgun. Handoff McGee, and he'll power forward for that first down. Needed a half yard, got 2.5 instead.
So hard to catch him for a loss. He is almost always going to gain.
Well, and that's why they went in the gun there. You get him building that momentum, head of steam, and it's even tougher, Keith, to slow him down once he gets going.
3:10 to go in the fourth. Sumner with the ball. They are the defending 4A champions. Come in as the number 5 seed. Handoff. McGee stumbles, and McGee breaks a tackle. Now he's running down the sideline. Flag comes in behind the play, but Lance McGee gets all the way down to the 30. See if it holds up. This is going to be probably coming back.
Yes, it is.
He was able to spring himself free down the field, but that was also one that probably got helped out by a teammate.
Penalties really stopping these Sumner drives before they can get going. Got to get out of your own way. Lake Stevens, they got too much momentum. They're too good of a team to commit penalties like this.
Yeah, you let them hang around too long, and they've clawed right back into this one.
By the way, Lance McGee, his next carry will set the rushing attempts record in the state championship game at the 4A classification. He's still a little bit off of Ashton Haight's record from 2019 for all classifications with 42.
That will bring that ball back, and it'll be 1st and 13 for Sumner. We'll see what Donovan and company can do. They'll go jumbo, put a man in motion, and he'll throw it. Finds Pollard. Ashton Pollard trying to get around the edge. Pollard slipped up, stays on his feet, and dives forward.
The one-arm bear crawl.
And Pollard comes up hobbled, but wow, what an effort by Ashton Pollard.
Yeah, he stretched out that hamstring trying to get down underneath the tackle and stay up and then lurch forward.
So that he'll get almost back to the original line of scrimmage. A triple shift. Handoff goes to McGee. He'll get a little bit more. He'll get down to the 40-yard line. 1:37 to go. Sumner with 2 timeouts, 3 for Lake Stevens. This brings up 3rd and 4 for Sumner.
By the way, McGee has also passed the yardage mark for a record in a 4A state championship game.
Not surprised. He has been a workhorse. Donovan puts a man in motion. Handoff. McGee plotting, and he'll get the first down. Gets right to the stick. And there's a minute remaining here in the 4th.
And McGee just continues to pound the ball up there, but they know he's going to find that opening again.
But he's running out of time. You got 49 seconds. You need points.
Shift is on. Donovan under center. Donovan. Handoff. McGee trying to find the edge. McGee goes down. 5-yard gain and a timeout called by the Spartans. Coach Ross calling for the Water Boys to hurry up to get out onto the field to hydrate his team as time is winding down. 34 seconds remain here in the 4th, all tied up at 35-35, and this is crucial for both of these teams. If you're Sumner, when do you decide to start pass to pull it in and start to make one of those
right here,
bring it in, take it out of the gut of McGee and send it down the field to Pope, because Pope hasn't really been that involved in this offense today.
You also have the option, send those guys deep down the field, draw the defense down, little check down with Lance McGee. Then you're going to have him one-on-one. Maybe all he needs to do is break one tackle and he's off to the races. By the way, 308 yards is what I have him down. I know stats are a little bit shaky. We got some questions on those, but he's well over 300 yards now. Everyone can agree on that.
34 seconds to go. 1 timeout left for Sumner. Donovan under center. Fakes the handoff. Donovan rolls out, throws it deep, trying to find Braylon Pope. Pope goes up, and ball is knocked away. Great decision there. Kikoa Okiyama breaks up that ball.
And if they come back to it, you've got 8 if he came across the middle, right? I know they were looking for the home run ball here to Pope, but they've got the middle of the field wide open there. They need a first down here. You still have time to get your shot.
Gray Longoria was open coming across, Jeff. You're right. See if they drop that same play and you can get Longoria in open space again.
And these passes stop the clock.
3rd down, 3rd and 5. Sumner Handoff, McGee trying to bounce to the outside. McGee breaks the tackle. He'll get out of bounds. Stop the clock with 20 seconds to go in the first down.
And Tony, Jeff, I know you guys were on the call last year. Sumner won. Last-second field goal. Yep. Are we headed for the same fate? Remember, there's never been a 4A state title game to go to overtime. Wow.
Well, they got plenty of time to get themselves into position here, and you're one handoff away from McGee breaking one off to put you there.
20 seconds to play. One timeout remaining for Sumner. Can they get in to Juan Jacobo Guzman's range?
And they already had issues on a snap once.
There's the shift. Handoff McGee trying to get to the outside. McGee cuts to the middle of the field. Runs over a guy.
First down.
First down will stop the clock momentarily. 13 seconds.
Call the play.
Timeout.
Burn their final one.
They're going to clock it. Taking too long.
The official on this side already pointed that they had called the timeout.
And Coach Ross, I think, is saying that I call the timeouts, not any. You'd hear me.
Well, I think he was wondering about the chains. There's all sorts of confusion on the near side with the chains.
So timeout on the field. See who gets. And that is Sumner's last timeout of the game. 13 seconds remain in the fourth quarter. 35-35. Sumner and Lake Stevens all tied up. Lake Stevens out of the West Coast. Sumner out of the SPSL.
And now you need to have your kicker, right? That field goal unit team's got to be close by, because if you have to go out and chop one here real quick, play in the middle of the field, spike the ball to get it so you can get him out there, you're out of timeout.
Yeah, you got to have him ready on the sideline, but that is the key point, Jeff. You do have first down, so you're likely going to be able to get that spike off.
Here they come. Donovan going to go under center. Drops back, fakes the handoff. Donovan throws towards McGee. McGee stretches and no good. 7 seconds remain.
A great coverage out there by Lake Stevens. Had McGee pinned to the sideline. Didn't really give an opening for Donovan to deliver. Even a perfect pass, I don't know if McGee's going to be able to get a foot in.
He was played well by Akio Yonesaka.
7 seconds. Do you have time to get a playoff and then spike the ball now? Likely not.
There's no timeout for Sumner, and they got to run. They got 8 seconds on the play clock. They got to get moving. Donovan goes under center quickly. 2-1, and now he'll spike it.
You spike the ball on a dead clock.
Yeah, there's a discussion going on down here between play caller and Coach Ross.
Well, now you don't. There's no way you can get a spike off.
No, they're going to kick it.
And they are going to attempt a field goal here with 6 seconds to go.
Oh, boy.
Juan Jacobo Guzman trying to kick a 45-yard field goal.
Lake Stevens is going to use a timeout here right before the snap. Watch it. Here it comes. There it is.
Yeah. And Abbott is the holder. He had an issue holding earlier. Jacobo Guzman hasn't had the strongest of legs on these PAT attempts. This one's from 45 yards out. It's going to be a stretch, but wow.
Coach Try, by the way, a great job to call that timeout and not allow him to get the practice kickoff. He's just going to get one chance to try and give Sumner that repeat, or we're likely looking at overtime.
2 timeouts remain for Lake Stevens. But now it relies on Juan Jacobo Guzman to kick this field goal. They're going to keep the kicking unit out there. Six seconds remain. Jacobo Guzman.
45-yard attempt.
Win is picked up.
Brennan Abbott going to be the holder. There's the snap. Hold is down. Jacobo Guzman, it's blocked. It's blocked, and coming up with the ball is Okiyama, and Okiyama looking for some room. Flag comes in the backfield. Okiyama still going down the sideline, and he's going to get sent out of bounds, but there is a flag back at the, 17-yard line.
Yeah, we're going to go to overtime. That's what the flag is going to put us at overtime.
He got forced out of bounds anyway. We're going to overtime regardless. Wow.
And that was the holder and Abbott that was able to peel back and make sure that Okiyama, even if this flag wasn't against Lake Stevens, he made sure that he didn't get into the end zone so there wasn't that discussion.
Yeah, you can't see the flag if you're on the field and just see, that's going to benefit us. Great job running him down, making a play.
So the discussion is on now by the officials.
This is all in the area of, blocking the back on the return.
So they have that discussion, see what comes of this. The clock is at zeros. Coach Try is halfway out onto the field. It's the white hat trying to find his mark. So, block in the back, like you said, declined, and we are headed to overtime. The 4A championship will be decided in overtime between Lake Stevens and Sumner. We will step away and be back with overtime after this.
Do you yearn to learn? Check out Centralia College Areas of Study. We've got fine arts and design, early childhood education, application development, biology, and who could forget electronics, robotics, and automation. Want to learn more? Check out our website or give us a call today.
Good Health Nutrition Center in Centralia is your home base for nutrition. When you visit Good Health Nutrition Center, you'll find the largest selection of vitamins, supplements, and natural remedies. You may be surprised to also find a huge selection of healthy groceries such as gluten-free products, environmentally friendly products, organic fruits and vegetables, and items for specific diets like the diabetic diet. Good Health Nutrition Center, powering students and athletes from the inside out. Good Health Nutrition Center on Harrison in Centralia.
Welcome back to the NFHS Network. Today's game at Husky Stadium is presented by the Seattle Seahawks, supporting WIAA football and the launch of girls flag football with the inaugural state championship coming in February. Tony Davila here along with Jeff Weeks, Matthew King, Keith King, as we are headed to overtime for the 4A championship. Captains make their way out to the middle of the field. What a game, 35-35 at the end of regulation. Matthew pointed out that there has never been a 4A game going to overtime until tonight.
Yeah, I remember we were all searching for it last year when that Sumner Camas game was looking like it was headed to overtime. But here we are. There's no better way to end the high school football season. We have talked about this being the best state championship weekend in state history. This kind of just puts the icing on the cake.
Clutch plays on both sides, but Lake Stevens coming out of halftime and that onside kick that just caught everybody off guard, shifted momentum their way. They're able to claw back, come back from down by 14 to tie this one up. So here we go.
So Sumner won the toss, said we'll play defense first. Thank you very much.
And interesting that Lake Stevens decided to play on the end where we just saw the blocked field goal, and the wind has been a bit of more of a factor.
But if you see the flags, the wind is at their back a little bit more. Lucas Mooring has the stronger foot of the kickers, but at this point, you're not looking to put up a field goal. You will if you have to, but you're looking for 7 here.
And that wind has been changing directions very often, so you have no idea which way. And again, that just goes to show it really doesn't matter which end of the field right now.
No, you see the flags on the field goal post are kind of still. The flag above the scoreboard is blowing one way, a different direction than how the flags on the field goal post are going, so it'll be interesting here.
I got goosebumps. What a game.
What a game. What a way to end championship football weekend.
And we can afford an overtime game because it won't push it off schedule.
No. Good point. It's not going to ruin anybody's celebration. So, with this, Lake Stevens will start with the ball at the 25 of Sumner.
And again, if you're unfamiliar with overtime rules, it is like college where both teams are going to get the ball starting at the 25 going in.
So here we go. Blake Mosier is the quarterback for Lake Stevens. Jay Farrell is the running back. And there is the snap, first snap of overtime, throwing it deep into the end zone and broken up, but flag comes in. Never turned his head. They were going right at Israel Neighbors, and Neighbors never turned on that one.
Just ran him off the ball.
I think that was Okiyama they were trying to find, and that was Kikoa. He's the one that broke up the pass down the field at the end of regulation. Pass interference on the defense.
Going to be half the distance to the goal, so that's going to put him at about 12 and a half.
And that will be a first down for Lake Stevens.
Yeah, easy call for the official there, no questions about it.
They can get another first down at the 2-yard line. Mosier in the shotgun. Going to hand off. And Farrell is met at the 10-yard line. 2-yard pickup there for Jay Farrell. Second and 7 coming up. Mosier in the pistol. It's Okiyama in motion. Handoff Farrell. Farrell breaks one tackle and gets down to the 6-yard line. Jay Farrell breaks the one arm tackle before getting taken down.
Looks like we're right at the 5, Tony.
Third down from the 5. They can get down to the 3 to get a first down. Blake Mosier backpedals, looking to pass. Cuts back the other way, sees a gap, and he'll get taken down at the 3-yard line.
Wow, he's close to that first down.
I think he's going to be a half a yard short, Keith.
Yeah, he's just short. Now here's the. Oh, they're going to measure here.
He saw that slight gap cut up the field.
I bet they measure. I'd measure it.
And it looks like that is what they're going to do.
Yep.
First measurement I've seen this season.
If ever there's a time to measure, this is it, though.
I'm with you, Matthew. This is the first measurement I have seen all year, and it is a very important spot here.
And we're still doing it the old-fashioned way at the high school level. We don't need no technology. We can figure this out. We're smart enough.
We don't need a 10-minute process to figure out if it's a quarter inch off.
No index cards.
Well, hold on now. We might need one of those. We'll see.
A few years ago, they told us no to that after that happened at the upper levels.
That's short.
Yeah, short.
Still a good decision to measure
good yard
that.
Short, yeah.
Your referee eyeballing it's going to get somebody upset, so you may as well bring the chains in and check that one out.
And now, big decision. You're facing 4th and 1. Do you take the points, or do you roll the dice and risk coming away with nothing?
Yeah, that is the big question there is you know you're in range of mooring.
They're 0 for 2 when they've gone for it on 4th down, and this is the biggest one yet.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah,
it is.
Because they're going.
And with how Mosier can move, I mean, I would go under center and hard count it and try to get them to jump. But instead, Mosier will go into shotgun. They got to wait for the sticks to get replaced. Fourth down here for Lake Stevens.
Got leverage to the top of your screen.
Mosier puts Farrell in motion. Thought he got a man to jump. Now they'll look to the sideline.
And they're going to go ahead
and take their timeout and kick it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're going to kick it. They're going to take their timeout for sure.
Lake Stevens takes the timeout. They want to talk things over. Don't see a kicker warming up anywhere for the Vikings.
No, I never saw him over there kicking into the net. Here on the near side, our kicker was taking hacks, but
you can see it looked like Sumner came across there on that replay.
Yeah, Lake Stevens was definitely pointing that somebody had moved. So here we go. What does Lake Stevens do here? And they're bringing out Mosier. They are not going to kick it. And again, they can get a first down at the 2-yard line. Mosier in the pistol. Behind him is Jay Farrell.
Still have leverage up to the top of the screen.
Farrell will move next to him. Mosier drops back. Scrambling forward, falls, and he is down. It is going back over to Sumner. He slipped as he was trying to cut up the field. And now Sumner is a field goal away from winning this.
Man, we've seen players slip all weekend long here at Husky Stadium. That's the biggest one by far. Sumner now just needs any sort of points, and they're walking away with the second consecutive 4A state title.
Again, these high school kids don't have special shoes for each different kind of field they play on, so you're almost bound to see that happen some.
And great call by the near side official. He was actually down at the 6.
Yeah.
And Elias Tulifua, the one to run him down, make him cut and jump up the field. Now here comes Sumner. Nate Donovan under center. He's got McGee behind him. Handoff. Lance McGee. Lance McGee cuts to the outside. McGee makes a man miss. And Lance McGee! Did he get in? No, he got knocked out at the 1-yard line. He just needed to power a little bit forward.
Coach is down here on the Sumner sideline having to push kids back onto the sideline. They were ready to celebrate.
You're about to see Lance McGee get 3 chances in a row to get a yard.
Yes, he is.
Half of a yard.
And McGee
There's no question what's coming here.
Thought he was walking off, and what a job done that time. Kenny Buckmiller saved that touchdown. Donovan under center, has McGee behind him. Handoff, McGee, and he is in for the touchdown, and Sumner repeats as 4A champions. What a game. The Sumner Spartans are your back-to-back 4A champions, and Paul Beatty's streak is still there. The team that loses to West Lynn raises the big gold ball here in Washington.
What a high school football game we just got to witness.
What a finish. What a game. 41-35. Sumner wins it in overtime. All right, we will step away and be back with the post-game show that is coming up next here from Husky Stadium back after this.
50 seasons. When it comes to passion and noise and dedication, it's always the 12s.
Are you making these money mistakes that will
ruin your life?
Act rich, get rich.
It's new. It's gross. It's Bitcoin. Crypto, baby! Are you wondering, how am I making money? How am I traveling the world and just living my best life? Well, it's pretty easy, okay?
See what I mean? Let's talk about managing your money in real life.
Mom, get out of here!
Thank you.
Find a healthier approach to money at GISA.
Sports fans, want to see which games are coming up on EliSportsNetwork.com? Just click on the ESN Broadcast tab and you'll see our current schedule. Click on the game you want or the link at the bottom of the page to subscribe to the NFHS network to watch all the action live.
Let's talk about tomorrow for a minute. So where do you want to be years from now? Do you see yourself enjoying retirement? Well, if you hope to get there, you'll have to plan for it. Josh Wilson, a financial advisor at Morgan Stanley, can help. Josh will work with you to create a wealth plan that's based on how you want to live now and once you retire. And the great thing is, he's right here in Washington. For an appointment, call Josh at 360-704-2220. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC.
Time to wrap up this game with the Alderson's Awards West Post Game Show. Awards West in Centralia can supply you with t-shirts, hats, and hundreds, if not thousands, of promotional products, even team uniforms. Before you buy, check in with locally owned Awards West printwares at aldersons.net. Now back to our ESN crew.
It's time to wrap this broadcast up with the Aldersons Awards West postgame show. For trophies, awards, t-shirts, and so much more, go to aldersons.net for their full catalog. Tony Davila here along with Matthew King, Keith King, and Jeff Weeks, and what a game. Sumner 41, Lake Stevens 35, and what a win. It took overtime, the first ever 4A overtime state championship game, and Sumner comes away with the win. Lance McGee, what a game for him. 6 touchdowns, ties the record for a state championship run, as the highlights show how good he was throughout this entire game.
Yeah, I mean, he was phenomenal, and hey, credit to that offensive line for Sumner, because they opened some big holes for him to run through, and they did it all game long, and McGee answered when the Spartans needed him here in overtime.
Well, they needed McGee all game long. You can see every highlight for Sumner is going to have to do with Lance McGee. Yeah, the offensive line really played well. They gave him some of that space that he needed, but he did a lot of that work in open field, just outrunning defenders like he had on that 30-plus yard touchdown. He was an absolute monster for Sumner. Without him, they have no chance in this game.
Yeah. Nacia King, Xander Pearson, Edgar Schenck, Cameron Rabbitoe, and Elijah Thomas. Those big fellas led the way all game long for Lance McGee to rack up that yardage.
And McGee was just unstoppable. That fancy footwork we got to see from him a few times. He could just cut on a dime and showed off all game.
And for the Lake Stevens fans, there is nothing to hang your head about. This was an incredible game. Way to come back. Big plays after big play. Blake Mosher had an incredible game for them. Keegan Brown on defense was so good, flying around everywhere. Jay Farrell had a really good game. All the receivers, Kikoa Okiyama, Seth Price, and Max Cook, all had big games for the Lake Stevens Vikings, but they just come up short against this Sumner defense and the Lance McGee show.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing for those Vikings to hang their heads about. You brought up a really great point. We're probably not in overtime if it's not for Keegan Brown. He made 3 gigantic plays in that fourth quarter to keep the Vikings in this one. The offense did a terrific job of digging deep. It was never going to be easy for either of these teams. It just was Sumner's day.
It definitely was. The champs remain the champs, and that has been kind of the case throughout this championship weekend. Is if you were the defending champ, you come back and reign over everybody, and Sumner is doing just that. What a job done. You can see Coach Ross in the middle of everybody. He is probably the most hyped out of everybody on the field. If you see him, Captain Caveman is what he looks like, kind of acts like as well, but what a game plan by him and the Sumner Spartans. With that being said, it is time to name our Sumner Holiday Inn Express MVP, and there is no need to talk about it. Don't need to ask anybody any questions. It's Lance McGee. You score 6 touchdowns. You run for 356 yards. You are a monster, and the Oregon State Beavers got one.
Yeah, they got one all right. Unbelievable. Record-shattering performance. Not just record-breaking, he shattered records. He ties the record with 6 rushing touchdowns. That's the most among any classification. He did it in a 4A state championship game. He shatters all the 4A rushing records. He shatters the attempts record regardless of classification. You name a record, now you're going to see Lance McGee's name up at the top of that leaderboard.
And he caught a pass.
And he did catch a pass.
Yeah. And if you think about it, he was the key to their playoff run, right? Everything kind of changed, and they focused up as they got into the playoffs, and they just rode him, and he delivered time and time again through this playoff run for the Spartans as they defend their championship, and now with 2 in a row.
He was the key to their season. You guys, this team had 3 losses. They were 2-3 after just getting smoked by Puyallup. That game wasn't close. I was there. I was calling it. Puyallup dominated from start to finish. It was gut check time for Sumner. Everyone wrote off the Spartans. They thought, well, this just isn't the team. They lost too much. They're not going to be able. They had to dig deep. They had to look each other in the eye in that locker room and say, hey, what are we made of? Are we just going to let this opportunity slip? Are we just going to give up halfway through the season? And they came out, and something flipped in that locker room. Whatever Coach Ross ended up telling those guys, everyone was bought back in, and boy, what a run they had in the second half and through state.
And with that 256, Lance McGee now has 2,354 rushing yards on the season. What a run from him. 36 touchdowns is what he came into the game with. Ends his high school career with a 42 touchdown season. Wow. What a game, what a season for Lance McGee and the Sumner Spartans, taking home the big gold ball yet again.
And Tyler Hergert just talked to Coach Ross, and Coach Ross said Lance McGee best player he's ever coached, and he's the best running back this state's ever seen. Hard to argue after that performance.
That is a very hard point to argue. What a season, what a game for him and for these Sumner Spartans. Back-to-back champions. It took them a while to get back to it. The last time they won a title in 4A was 1977, and now they are back-to-back champions.
And I just want to say, I want to go back to Lake Stevens. This team's not done. They are losing a group of C. They have a ton of returning talent that is going to be back next season. Think about it. A year from now, we're very likely going to see Lake Stevens right back here on this field.
Yeah, all those skill kids are coming back, right? They'll be seniors next year.
Quarterback, too.
Yep.
What a turnaround. Hope for round 3 between these two teams because, wow, what a showing here. The last 2-time state champions just played each other in an overtime victory, and Sumner comes out on top of that one, completing their revenge tour, getting the win over their last 2 games. They beat the 2 teams from Washington that beat them in the regular season, and they hoist the big gold ball. All right, that will do it for us from Husky Stadium. That ends the fall sports season altogether. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching all of this weekend. Thank you to the Vancouver Public Schools for the camera work, all the replays, everything that you saw. Again, that is all high school students that are running the replays and the cameras and the production behind the scenes for us. So a big shout out and a big thank you to them for doing that, because without them, none of this would be possible. One more time, I am Tony Davila for Matthew King, Keith King, and Jeff Weeks. The Sumner Spartans get a 41-35 win in overtime in the 4A champion. Check out the website, see what we've got coming up, EliSportsNetwork.com. We're out.
Thank you for watching and subscribing to the Eli and NFHS Sports Networks. Remember, a portion of your subscription goes back to the schools. We can't wait to see you again, right here for the best in high school sports live action. The Eli Sports Network.